magic happen.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Greetings and welcome. I don't even know how to do an intro. How does this work again? I've been off the air for a while. Greetings and welcome to this special presentation here on the BirdWatcher channel. I am your host, BW. We're going to watch tonight a retro play call. We're going to go back 30 years and watch an Orioles game. Opening day 1994 between the Baltimore Orioles and the Kansas City Royals at Camden Yards. Just the third opening day in that ballpark's history. We're also going to be doing this every couple of Fridays throughout the winter to help us bridge the gap between the end of the 2024 season and spring training coming up. Good to see some familiar faces already here in the Charm City chat. Boy, it just feels good just to say that phrase again, Charm City chat. It's all coming back to me, folks. It's like getting back on the bicycle. You know, I've got the chill music right here. There it is. Yeah, you guys remember how this works, right? Look who's here already. We've got a couple of mods in the house. Michael, Janet, and Matt. Actually, before I get started with anything, let's hook some people up. Let's hook some people up right now. I'm going to go in here into my own channel and gift some memberships. Now, these memberships at this stage of the year don't really offer a whole lot in terms of perks, but they're mine to give away or else they get wasted. So I'm giving them away. Let's give away 5 right now. There. That should do it. Give us a chance to kill a couple of minutes. Maybe a few other people will show up. Look at that. Matt's already a BirdWatcher, just like that. Matt, your work as a moderator has already paid off. Would you look at that? Unbelievable. All right. Here's what we're going to be doing tonight, folks. Here's your game. Royals at Orioles, April 4th, 1994, 30 seasons ago. Again, home opener and season opener. There's actually 2. Count them 2. Oh, I'm going to get rid of this music here. There's 2 versions of this game available on YouTube. I have the one of the better quality. And just so that everybody understands, I'm doing my best to any of these retro games to not look ahead and see the result. Although, if you take a look at our poll, I'm jumping all over the place. First things first. For the most part, I don't know the outcome of the games that we're watching. I probably saw these games when they happened, but my memory is not that good. I don't remember the result of opening day 1994. The only thing that I can assume is that Mike Mussina is on the mound as our ace in what I believe is his second full season at this point. Yeah, so we do have a home team sports broadcast, so Mel Proctor and John Lowenstein. Let's just go ahead and roll the tape.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Open
There
Day.
they
I'm
are.
Mel Proctor along with John Lowenstein. During the offseason, new owner Peter Angelos committed roughly $43
New owner
million
Peter
to free
Angelos.
agents and
All right, folks, so that's where we're at. New owner Peter Angelos. Well, it's over. We've moved on. Do we have questions in the chat already? So this is how it's going to work, folks. We're going to watch this game. The volume is going to be not completely muted. It's going to be, audible but low, so that I can talk over it. We'll pause if we need to and just stop and chat about things. But this is also a chance for us to talk about the offseason, some of the things that are happening with the club, transactions, personnel moves, and potential free agent pickups, this sort of thing. Whatever's on your mind. I've actually decided, was it late last night over here on the Discord, to list a bunch of topics, which listed in this squeezed-in format. It's almost impossible to read. But like, for instance, we've got a couple of new hitting coaches, head hitting coach Cody Ashe, Tommy Joseph. They have been brought in. Ashe actually promoted to be the lead hitting coach. Obviously, the Orioles' second half of the 2024 season ended not in a way that we liked, not just the way we didn't really show up for the playoffs, but the second half, we played to a .500 record. We struggled mightily with fundamental baseball on offense, particularly hitting with runners in scoring position, getting runners over into a scoring position, just utilizing the at-bats. A lot of just wasted at-bats down the stretch there. But anyway, I am jumping all over the place. Part of this experience, though, is that I have this right here. Talk to BW. If you get in on the Discord, the link for that is at the very top of the chat. I can go ahead and post it again for anybody that might be interested. We can talk. I'd like to have you on. I'd like to get more than just my voice on this stream tonight. I'd like to hear from you, your thoughts. I don't want to just sit here and tell you everything, just my opinions. We can share. So whenever you guys are in the mood, if you got a question and you want to talk about it at length, hop in on the Discord. And there's right here, talk to BW. You go into there, and my phone is open right now. It is open. Just let me know. But we do have topics. But first, I think we're just going to sit back and maybe watch the first inning here and just relive a little bit of nostalgia from the 1994 season. Again, we got Mel Proctor and John Lowenstein on the call. O's TV, they're calling it. So is this for Channel 2, I'm assuming?
Effort to improve this club.
This is not HTS. This is for WBAL, I'm assuming.
Extra excitement in the air. Of course, opening day is always exciting, but something a little extra this year. And maybe skipper Johnny Oates summed it up best when he said,
Johnny Oates,
when we take the field today, at least we know we have a chance to win.
Oh, I agree, Mel. Angelos and company, they've made up that one-run differential that existed between
Robert
them
sold a
and the
computer
Blue
to Mike
Jays for
Devereaux.
so many years. And with the addition of, just for two, the Palmeiro at first and
pretty
Sable
cool.
at third base, that is increased run production
Great
right now.
success.
And with the emergence of Hammonds in right field, I mean, a lot of
the rookie Jeffrey Hammonds.
that we didn't see the last couple of years, and that's what's got everyone excited this season.
Well, Mike Mussina will be the opening day pitcher today, opposing Kevin Apier, the Royals ace. But on Wednesday, Ben McDonald will start for the Orioles. He's had an outstanding spring. Jim Palmer will visit with Big Ben when we return after this commercial break.
Oh, I love that. The idea of Palmer interviewing player Ben McDonald. Now they're sitting next to each other in the broadcast booth, of course. We could sit through some of these old commercials if you guys are interested in a little bit of nostalgia, but let's at least get the game going first. This is a 3.5-hour clip, so I'm not here to see everything, okay? Let's get to the meat and potatoes here. I don't plan on being here for 3.5 hours. Try to get it to under 3. Yeah, do you guys like the look here? Check me out in the corner, right? I mean, I'm being naturally lit. There's a lot of browns and yellow color. I mean, there's no filter, but I almost look like I'm from the past, don't I? And this looks like a late 70s vibe going on over here. There's Big Ben.
Inflammation. I did throw on the side yesterday. I felt pretty good. I don't think I'm quite at 100%, but hopefully another week we can knock this thing out and I'll be right where I want to be.
Are you a little remiss you're not the opening day pitcher today?
Yeah, I went through that.
Look
a little
at
bit this
sexy
year. I felt
Jim
like
Palmer.
I pitched well enough last year to deserve that shot to pitch opening day, but Johnny didn't see it that way. You know, every pitcher would like the opportunity to throw opening day, but
You think Ben has any idea at this moment that 25 years down the road he'd be in the booth calling the games? A bird for life. You think he knew?
maybe it'll happen next year. I got a job to do this year, and I'm pitching the second game, and it's all over with now. I wish Mike the best of luck.
Okay, we'll have a happy and a healthy 1994.
That tie, though,
We'll be
Jim,
back
that
after
tie.
these words with more Orioles opening day festivities.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it, folks. All right, let's skip ahead here. Let's get down to the... Oh, it is Home Team Sports. The channel you cheer for. Home Team Sports. The channel you cheer for. We've got the bullets. We've got the caps. Orioles magic. We've got the action. We've got the drive. It's a home team exclusive. We've got it live.
Opening pitch just around the corner. Mel Proctor along
All right,
with John
folks.
Lowenstein. Jim Palmer will also be with us today. The field looks to be in great shape. Groundskeeper Paul Zawaska and his crew has done a marvelous
There it
job.
is. By the way, we get to see the Bromo Seltzer Tower before that damn giant hotel or whatever it is got built. I really am annoyed how they ruined the skyline with that. Let's take a look at the dugout here.
The Orioles finished the exhibition season on a winning note, battering the Philadelphia Phillies here on Saturday 9-3 to finish with 15 wins, 15 losses, and 1 tie. The Royals were 16-14-1, but I guess those records don't mean anything now.
Well, that's what the coaching staff tells us anyway. But you know, the players.
Hey, Greg
just,
Gagne,
are
former
in the get ready for, the
Minnesota
season
Twin.
mode, and you can see all the players on both teams here ready to crank it up to begin another championship season.
Of course, the Orioles have
That's
high
right.
hopes
Use
over the
those
Kansas
taters
City
while you
Royals,
still
who
can,
have
Chilo.
lost George Brett, who retired, but they've added Vince Coleman.
So it's the first year after the retirement of George Brett for the Royals. Vince Coleman, one of the best stolen base guys ever, is on the Royals, apparently.
Troubled former Met, hoping that he'll provide the speed in the leadoff spot.
I'll be interested in seeing the Royals lineup.
Kansas City Royals.
And maybe that will occur. One thing is for certain, they're going to score more runs just with the addition of Dave Henderson and then Vince Coleman on the team. Now,
Dave Henderson.
they're gonna get the
Oh, wow.
usually
How old was
historically
he
fine
at this
pitching anyway.
stage?
Now, whether or not
94.
they're going to be able to score runs more than the pace in which they scored them last year.
By the way, how is the, can I just ask the chat, how is the balance between me and, like, I should be louder, but can you kind of hear us both while I interject from time to time? Are we good?
It remains to be seen.
We should probably do a lag check as well. I forget how to do everything. Folks, if you don't mind, really quick, just type in the number 2 as soon as humanly possible. Just type that number right in. Hello, lady. How are you? Hello, lady. All right, so the lag looks good. Everything, all right, we're looking good. Fantastic. I got the... All right. I've got the soundboard on standby as well. Let's go.
And all of the Orioles owners will be here today. Pam Shriver, the noted tennis pro from Baltimore, among the 21 owners. Of course, we saw...
All right, let's get to the action. Come on.
If they need a ball player down the road, they're going to go out and get it.
I want to see him take the field.
But the point is, they've got the product on the field right now to compete with the Blue Jays.
And a lot of these young players like Arthur Rhodes and Damon Buford and Jack Voigt, whom you see, have got to be excited about.
Where were you working, Robert? Like at an electronics store? What did he buy? I kind of missed, or I forgot. Yeah, a TV. Where are you working at? The Wiz? Nobody beats the Wiz?
Having opening day
Hey,
here
Book Doc.
before this huge and enthusiastic
Look at
crowd.
this
And
juggling
you hear a lot of
act.
people talking about the regular 9 that they put out there every day. But let me tell you something. If you don't have bench depth, some of those names.
Does anyone on the current team know how to juggle? That's something we need to talk about. All right, let's get this game started. All right, are we going out here?
Assistant trainer Steve Morris.
Oh, they're doing introductions. Okay, we gotta. All right, let's get to the Orioles introductions.
And now, the Oriole coaches. The batting coach, number 24, Greg Biagini.
Greg Biagini.
Pitching coach, number 27, Dick Bosman.
Dick Bosman. Yes.
A new member of the coaching staff and a member of the Orioles Hall of Fame.
Chuck Thompson, by the way, on the PA.
The leadoff hitter on the great Orioles team.
By the way, John Miller is also still with the team at this point. So this really is vintage Orioles. Camden Yards is brand new. Ripken's in the middle of his Hall of Fame career. We're on the verge of becoming a 2-time make it to the championship series team. I wish we could say more than that, but I mean, that really is for the past 42 years now. Those 2 years, 95, 96, those were the salad
Teams of
days.
69 through 71. Welcome, bench coach number 13, Don Buford.
Don Buford, bench coach. By the way, the Orioles, there's something we need to talk about. Freddie Gonzalez is no longer our bench coach. I'm sure a lot of you know that already. But unlike the hitting coach vacancy, the bench coach one is yet to be filled. I hope we get a good one, especially one that is a tactician, a strategist, somebody that can maybe bend Brandon Hyde's ear once in a while when it comes to things like when to pull a pitcher. I don't know. I'm just talking.
First base coach, number 15, Davy Lopes.
Davy Lopes.
And a very respected coach who this year takes over the duties at third base. Welcome, please.
Oh, yeah, you guys are seeing another corner of my apartment. I just decided for what should be a small turnout. What's more important? Having this Orioles poster over here with all that sun glare, or no sun glare, no poster? I went with the latter.
Number 31, Jerry Narron.
All right, I want to hear about.
And finally, in the bullpen, the man who today is extending his club record.
Elrod.
26 opening
Elrod
in an Oriole uniform.
There's the tower. There's the tower. That's what the skyline's supposed to look like. All right. There's the tower. They screwed it up. That's beautiful. That Bromo Seltzer Tower.
Time. One of the most popular citizens of our city and state, bullpen coach number 44, Elrod Hendricks.
There he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
Now the Oriole players.
All right.
First, one of the most talented prospects in the Orioles organization, currently on the disabled list, but we hope he'll be healthy very soon. Welcome, number 1, shortstop, Manny Alexander.
Oh, yeah, Manny. Never quite panned out.
The next.
By the way, are we already are we done with Glenn Davis? Like, how long did that last? Like 91, 92? Oh, what a mistake that was.
The young gentleman is Orioles third baseman, number 10, Leo Gomez.
Leo Gomez, not a starter at this point.
A couple of moments ago, you said hello to his popular dad. Won't you welcome this talented young outfielder, number 18, Damon Buford.
Damon Buford.
And next, the tall, young, right-handed pitcher, number 19, Ben McDonald.
Big Ben.
This versatile young lad, and like Ben McDonald, a product of LSU, welcome infielder and outfielder.
Look how
number
large
28,
he is.
Jack
God,
Bull.
next to Manny Alexander. Jesus. I'm sorry, who came out?
This hard-throwing southpaw is
Wait, Jack Voigt.
exciting young Oriole. Welcome, number 29, Brad Pennington.
Brad Pennington.
Only Cal Ripken.
I want to say Pennington was once on. Wasn't he on the Indians when there was a home run ball that somebody caught and like went on the, and then didn't he like leap over the wall back in Memorial Stadium? I might be wrong about that.
Has been an Oriole longer than this veteran right-hander. Please welcome number 32, Mark Williamson.
Yeah, you guys want to talk about getting the wall moved back in?
The next gentleman is a consummate role player and team player. He batted 300 in 1993. Welcome.
I'm going to guess Tim Hewlett on this. That sounds like a Tim Hewlett introduction.
Number 36, Tim Hewlett.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a Tim Hewlett introduction if I've ever heard
This
one.
side armor used to pitch for the Toronto Blue Jays. And let me tell you, he looks a heck of a lot better on our side. Now wearing the orange and black, number...
Yeah, see, here's my thought, Chilo, and everybody else. And maybe I will just have to pause and talk. I don't know how to do this. This is a brand new experience, okay? I'd rather have the wall stay how it was. I like, first of all, I like a quirk. I like quirks in ballparks. I like to be the only team in baseball with something weird going on in left field. It's just crazy big. And the thing is, if you have a guy like a Colton Cowser, if you've got a solid center fielder, and then you got a guy like Cowser that can play center, but is really like a corner outfielder, but an above average one, like a Gold Glove potential one, I think it's such an advantage because more oftentimes than not, the visiting team is not going to have a left fielder nearly as athletic and as capable of covering that ground as we do. So I think defensively, I know I've heard the stat that the Orioles have had more home runs swallowed up by the wall than the opponent over the last couple of years, even though that we finished second in home runs in all of baseball last season. Even though statistically it says we've lost more homers than we prevented, I still say there's an advantage as long as you have an above-average glove in that left field, which we do. I'd like to keep it that way. But what this does do is allow for like a Heston Kjerstad or somebody who isn't defensively too sharp to maybe be able to cover that side of the field now, where we don't have to have an above-average guy there all the time. You know what I'm saying? So there are pluses and minuses, and I'm looking at it as much from a defensive standpoint as I am offensively. I'll tell you this, though. The person who's really been screwed by this whole ordeal is Ryan Mountcastle, because Mountcastle is probably going to be traded, I would assume, sometime between this offseason and the upcoming trade deadline in 2025, because it's the last year of his contract. I don't see us re-signing him. And we've got Kobe Mayo, who looks more and more every day like first base is going to be his spot. We just re-signed Ryan O'Hearn for a couple of years. So if we're going to make another platoon situation and we need to make space for Mayo, because in my estimation, Jordan Westburg has earned the right to lock down the everyday third baseman job. I know we haven't seen a whole lot of Kobe Mayo defensively in the bigs to be able to judge whether or not he can handle it. He did look pretty shaky in the small sample size that we had, but I think just by his size alone, he's built like a first baseman. So yeah, Ryan Mountcastle, a guy who had probably more home runs swallowed up by left field than anybody, now is about to probably leave when they bring the fences back in. And who stands to benefit? Kobe Mayo. Although I've seen it. The guy can hit the ball out with the wall all the way back. Hell, you can move it 10 more feet back with this guy once he can figure it out in the bigs. But, yeah, that's what I'm seeing coming up. Kobe Mayo this year is probably going to supplant Ryan Mountcastle in some way, shape, or form, unless Mayo absolutely face plants. Let's hope he doesn't, because we already had Holiday face plant for the most part last season. We need him to step up. Cowser, even though he just finished short of the Rookie of the Year award, he did have some struggles down the stretch. The strikeout rate was going up way too much. He started to look pretty good in the leadoff spot there for a while, but I'm not sure if the on-base percentage can justify it going forward. I feel like we do need to find a different leadoff hitter than Gunnar Henderson, though. I'd like to see Gunnar move down to the 3 spot, maybe the 2 or 3 spot. I want to see Jordan Westburg at the top of the lineup, either as a 1 or a 2. Maybe you can flip-flop him depending on facing a lefty or righty. But I definitely think Jordan Westburg has proven that he takes quality at-bats as good, if not better, than anybody else in this young nucleus of players that we have.
38, welcome, Mark.
By the way, I'm just yapping. That's why I want to get you guys on the Discord. Let's have a conversation. I don't, whatever I'm saying isn't gospel, folks. Feel free to say, but what about this, BW? Or ask me a question, whatever you want to do.
Eichhorn.
Mark Eichhorn, former Toronto Blue Jay. I don't even remember him with us.
This professional hitter joined the club to help down the stretch last year, and we're mighty happy he's back again this year. Welcome, the outfielder who wears number 39, Lonnie Smith.
Oh, Lonnie Smith. Yeah, remember him.
Here is a young man who has enjoyed 10 seasons in the Orioles organization. Welcome, please, catcher number 41, Jeff Tackett.
Jeff Tackett. Oh, my God. I forgot about Jeff Tackett.
This bright young man was among the most active Orioles in the community.
By the way, speaking of backup catchers, that's going to meet another need we need to address and another conversation topic. Sam Basayo is slated. MLB.com has him projected to make his major league debut in the 2025 season, next year. I don't think he's going to make the opening day roster. I don't think it's just going to be Adley and Basayo as your catcher 1 and 2 right out of the gate, right out of spring training. I think we're going to have to find a replacement for McCann. We don't have to pay $10 million for whoever that replacement is like we were paying McCann. I think that's way too expensive for a backup catcher, especially when your starting catcher is a, multi-all-star, although Rutschman really needs to pick up. Man, that's the other thing. Hadley, please. Find that stroke again. Stop uppercut swinging, my friend.
Welcome left-handed reliever number 45, Jim Poole.
Jim Poole. Yes. He was a sidearm or underarmer, wasn't I think it was really underarm, wasn't he?
A new Oriole, and what a career
Submariner
this veteran has put together. He is the all-time saves leader in baseball history.
Oh, that's right. We had Lee Smith this season. Hey, it's like when we went out and got Kimbrel, right?
Won't you welcome, please, right-handed reliever number 47, Lee Smith.
Hall of Famer, folks. Got that veteran jog, too. That's the veteran jog right there. That's how I run.
Another new Oriole.
He almost looks like Felix Bautista in his size,
Love the way you treat.
Folks, that's another thing. Folks. Felix Bautista. All systems go. Spring training, ready for opening day. The mountain is coming back. You got to feel good about it.
Future Orioles in this town. He's from the New York Mets. Won't you welcome?
I can't remember how we got Lee Smith.
50, Sid Fernandez.
I barely remember we even had him. Hey, Sid Fernandez.
Here now, a talented southpaw. Won a total of 18 games last year, 12 of them for the Orioles.
Wait a minute. Southpaw won 18 games last year, 12 for the Orioles. So we made a midseason move for a lefty. Is it Jamie Moyer? Is this Jamie Moyer?
After he came up from AAA. Welcome, number 51, Jamie Moyer.
All right. Over from the Mariners.
Most talented pitchers in the Orioles organization, number 53, left-hander Arthur Rhodes.
Oh, Arthur Rhodes. Many seasons in the bullpen.
Next, say hello again to the hard-throwing right-hander with that big number 75 on his back. Welcome, Alan Mills.
Alan Mills. Now, he was the one.
Now,
Was Mills the one that was on the mound? Now, I know, what's his face? Who was the knucklehead we had that was always getting us into trouble with brawls and stuff? Help me out. Who was the knucklehead reliever that we had? Armando Benitez. Yeah. But wasn't Alan Mills involved in another big scrum, I want to say?
the Orioles starting lineup. First, the outstanding young manager.
Okay, so starting lineup. Outstanding young. They're going to call Johnny Oates a young manager? I thought he was like my grandpa's age when I was. How old was I? I was 17. I was 16, almost turning 17 on this day.
The Orioles, who was voted
I think
by
so,
his
Michael.
peers as the manager of the year in 1993, number 26, Johnny Oates.
Johnny Oates, young manager. Hold on, I'm gonna have to figure something out here. Stand by, folks. Going off track here. So in 1994, Johnny Oates was how old? 46. So 40 and He was born what month? January. So, yeah, so he would have been 48. I'm 47 and a half, so we're the same age. I'm Johnny Oates' age. Are you kidding me? I'm old!
Now we're going to get to the starting lineup.
I'm always showing off? What? How? What did I... Wait, what am I doing?
And I wonder if you might help me out a little bit.
I just sat here and cursed my age. See the tower? See how the tower isn't blocked? That's how it should look.
I'll say a little bit about the player.
We got Chuck Thompson here. We got the tower. I love it, folks. I love it.
You his name, or rather his number, and then his name will follow. I would like to have you respond with that player's name.
Sorry, Jeffrey.
For instance, here we go.
I'll probably have one in a minute.
Leading off for the 1994
there's sideburns. There's sideburns. There he is, folks.
Ladies and
90210 in your hearts.
gentlemen, leading
Who
off
needs
for the
Luke Perry when you got
1994
Brady
Orioles,
Anderson?
Left fielder, number 9. Hey, way to go. Let's go. Let's keep right on going.
Oh, listen to Chuck. God, I'm getting the feels, guys. I'm getting the feels.
Terrific. Here we go. Batting second, the outstanding center fielder.
There's
number
Devereaux.
12. All right. Now you got a chance to really show me something for a new Oriole. One of the most outstanding players in the American League.
I was going to say, this is Palmeiro's debut. This is Rafi's debut. Say what you want. Say what you want. I still think he was... I just wish he didn't dope. I just wish he didn't, because he was such a pure hitter. He didn't need to. He could have been a Hall of Famer without it. He really could have. The guy knew how to hit a baseball. There's no doubt about it.
Who chose to come to this wonderful community. Won't you welcome the man?
Roids will make you hit the ball farther. They're not going to make you hit the ball on the screws every time, which Palmeiro pretty much did.
Who will bat third, first baseman number 25.
Oh, you guys are getting mad at me saying I'm old? Look, I'm sure you guys were beginning to say you were old when you were my age. I'm just at the beginning of the process you guys went through, and now you're your age that you are now. And there's people older than you walking around right now saying you need to clam it. We can't stop aging, folks, but we're still here, right? La vida è bella, right? Life is beautiful. Come on. Look at the ovation for Rafi. I try, Robert. Wow, that was a big ovation.
Another one of ours, the pride of the Eastern Shore.
Oh, Harold Baines, baby. Eastern Shore. That's right. Shout out to the Eastern Shore. Harold Baines.
Maryland, the designated
Class
hitter, number
act.
3.
He's in the conversation, Michael. He's in the conversation. I think Edgar Martinez needs to be in the conversation. Oh, now Book Talk isn't old. Okay. Now that you've had the pep talk. Anyway. There he is, folks. There he is. The face of the franchise, the face of the city during my youth. In fact, all these retro games we'll be watching, folks, they range from about 1985 to early 2000s. That's how we watch these games. Those are the ones that are available. So pretty much Ripken's career. Every game we're going to watch, Cal's going to be there. I hope that's okay with you. Hey, there's Hoyles.
Don't make any mistakes here, okay? Batting fifth.
There's Hoyles.
The future Hall of Famer, who already has 2 MVP awards, 2 Gold Glove awards, 11 All-Star games, hasn't missed a game since 1982. Another Marylander, the pride of Aberdeen, shortstop number 8.
You better get on your feet. Hey, there's Kelly. Different times. Now, is this before or after Kevin Costner showed up? We'll never know. Or maybe we do know.
Batting sixth, the young man who established several club records in 1993 while winning
Mark McLemore.
the most
That's
valuable
Mark
Oriole
McLemore.
award. The catcher, number 23.
Chilo, you don't know Rafael Palmeiro? You don't know Brady Anderson?
I hope you're not getting tired. We got a couple more to go.
Come on now.
Batting seventh, another new Oriole. And we hear he plays that hard-nosed brand of baseball that defines the true Orioles.
The Oriole
Welcome,
way.
The new third baseman, number 17.
Oh, this is the Chris Sabo year. Oh, Chris Sabo stunk. Chris Sabo stunk. That was the... All right, so every team's going to have a stinker. We shouldn't have signed this guy. I think Leo Gomez is on the team right here. I think Gomez took over the starting gig like probably a month or two into the season. Sabo was not good. And then I guess Jeffrey Hammonds will bat ninth.
Batting eighth, the switch-hitting second baseman who had his best year ever in 1993, number 2.
Hi, Crazy Cubs. I'd be happy to answer your question. I've only understood what it was. How many W's wins? Could you clarify what that is?
And batting ninth, the exceptionally gifted rookie who gave us a taste in 1993 of what he can do in the future. Welcome, right fielder, number 11.
All right, Hammonds. All right, there we go. Let's get to, how many world... So that's your way of abbreviating a capital W with a small s? All right, I tell you what. The last World Series win was when you understood how to write initials. So, 83. You got to go back to. Are you a Cubs fan trying to talk smack about postseason success? Am I being led to believe a Cubs fan is here to, like, flex about postseason success? Okay. Now I've seen it all. Now I've seen it all.
25 years of age, who will make his first opening day start, and you can just imagine how exciting that is.
Unsub, thanks for being a jackass. Haha, it was a serious question. Well, maybe get to know me a little bit, and maybe you'll sub back. I mean, you're laughing, aren't you? But you do you. It's up to you, buddy.
Won't you
There's the Moose.
The right-handed pitcher, number 35, Mike Mussina.
All right, let's get to the first pitch. Let's go. Doesn't matter. He left already, Chilo. He already left. I love the unsub. Like, dude, if he just subbed, like, why would I feel any loss if he unsubbed? You just did it. It's like if you held your hand out for me to shake it, but then took it back. Like, okay, so. All right. Well, now you're still here. Well, welcome in. Get acclimated. I'm a nice guy. You're going to enjoy your time here. I apologize. Did I jump on you too much? I was pulling your tail for being an ass. All right, well, then what am I doing back to you then? Like, honestly. There's so many God. It's a little hypocritical, don't you think? First of all, it seems a little sensitive for you to react that way if you felt like I was, like, jumping on you. But then you're going to say, well, I'm going to do it back to you. Ha. Well, then, what are you really solving here? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I don't know. But you can give the channel a shot if you want. If you want to just play it cool and be a part of the BirdWatcher community, you're more than welcome. We're about to get started with first pitch. 1994 opening day. Here we go. You're from Chicago. We fight disrespect with disrespect. Don't think... Oh, is that a Chicago thing? Do you end a lot of your comments with LOL where you laugh at the thing that you just said? It's kind of weird when people do that. I guess they feel like it sort of props up whatever their comment is more by laughing at it themselves. It's a strange phenomenon, but I've had about 20 years to get used to it now. So, yeah, you're welcome here. How you doing? All right, there's Angelos throwing out the first pitch. We'll skip that. And, yeah, let's get started here. The broadcast booth is nicely backlit. Jim Palmer's in complete shadow. My God, when this game gets started. There's the aquarium. And if I laugh, then I make it known. I don't care if you laugh along, but it's welcome. Dude, you weren't laughing as you're typing your own comment. I'm from Chicago. We fight disrespect with disrespect. Don't think much of it. Like, where's the joke? There's nothing funny there. Like, even from an objective level, if I'm in your shoes, where's the funniness?
The system is on.
I don't see it. It's non-existent. It's a mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. Really? That's exactly what you did. Okay. And the people within earshot of you, did they look at you like the crazy person you appear to be? Hey, here's the Kansas City lineup. Vince Coleman will lead off and play left. Brian McRae, son of Hal, in center field batting second. Wally Joyner over from the Angels at this point. First base.
The catcher Mike McFarland, who's had a fine spring.
And now it's I'm old. I'm old too. You know what? Let's give you a timeout. How about that? Come on back in a half an hour if you feel like it. I doubt you will. But yeah, I can just tell, dude. You're here to antagonize. You're here to push buttons. Oh no, I was just God. I just want to do this little get together, off-season thing with a small group, and still people like this show up. You can't help it, folks.
Cleanup spot.
Got nothing better to do.
Minnesota Twin third baseman Gary Gaetti will start in that position for the Royals today. Rookie Bob Hamlin is the designated hitter.
God.
Dave Henderson, a veteran of postseason.
They got Henderson batting seventh?
Greg Gagne, who did such a fine job last year, is again a...
They got Gary Gaetti and Greg Gagne from the World Series Twins. And, oh yeah, I forgot. I've got sound effects for guys like that.
Hit the bricks, pal. You're done.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Shortstop for...
I mean, what is Dave Henderson doing if he's batting seventh for the Royals? That dude used to be a cleanup or five hitter.
The Royals have
He's all the way down.
Second base,
Jose Lind.
And the opening day pitcher is Kevin Appier.
And Kevin Appier on the mound. All right, let's get to it. Come on. We already saw the lineup. We're ready. There's the Moose. In 93, he was 14-6. ERA 4.46. Wow. That was his first full season. Learning curve. I don't think he ever had an ERA much above 3 in any season since.
He's got a great changeup. Did not really have any of those pitches working this spring.
Yeah, and that Royals lineup, yeah, Henderson, if he's still hitting with any worth, I would assume would bat, yeah, cleanup behind Joyner. Mike McFarland is your cleanup hitter? Dave Henderson 7th? That seems crazy to me. All right. I'm already learning what not to do for the next one of these. Here are today's umpires. Oh, there's some names I remember. Jim Evans, Darrell Cousins, Rick Reed, Gary Cedarstrom.
Behind the plate, Darrell Cousins at first.
All right, here we go. The Orioles are taking the field, folks. It only took 45 minutes into this broadcast to watch a little bit of baseball together.
And all of the fans appreciate the efforts of owner Peter Angelos and his group.
All right, well, you got to be here for first pitch, Matt. First pitch coming up. Here we go. Come on, Mike.
Hagerstown, Maryland, if the lottery logo is
the hit it here sign is in full bloom.
Marlenic tissue.
All right. I'll tell you one thing. Mike Mussina looks like a good bet to me to have a good year, despite those.
I was just asking a simple question. How many World Series wins? When's the last time you won a World Series game? Hey, by the way, I got the name Cubs in my name. And no, I'm not here to antagonize, even though by comment 2, I'm calling you a jackass. By comment 2.
Spring numbers you were talking about, Jimmy, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see
just
whether or not
own who you are. Like,
today, because he is the master of
own it, dude. Just own it.
He has it working for him.
Holy cow, folks! I didn't think we'd have any more interruptions before first pitch, but
Jody!
Whoops. Where is it?
Message for you, son.
We've got a message coming in here from Matt, who's given up a $20 super chat to help the BirdWatcher channel out. Thank you so much, Matt. That is huge, man. This off season.
And I want to thank you very much for that. I really do.
Any donations will go a long way in the off season. Trust me. All right. All right.
Mussina during the spring pitched 26 2/3 innings and gave up a whopping total of 4.
And the thing is, Jeffrey, I don't even want to be feisty. I'm not looking for confrontation. I seek to avoid it. Why the hell do you think I moved half a world away? I just want some peace. I like music. I like baseball. I like ladies. All right? That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the nature. I'm here for conversation. I'm here to listen to music. I'm here to watch baseball. This is what I'm about. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here looking for clout. But I'm running a YouTube channel, so I guess I gotta balance these things. I don't know.
He said, I think he's exactly where he wants to be. He is actually throwing better.
And only I can call myself old.
Now, the results not as good than he did last year. But we'll see. This is what it's all about.
All right, Vince Coleman, first meeting ever. Mike Mussina, here we go. Should I lower the volume a bit? Coleman stepping into the batter's box. Left-handed bat. Perennial base stealing champion. Now over in the American League. Spent a lot of season with the Cardinals. He is in the batter's box. Mike Mussina. He does look quite young there, doesn't he? That classic stare down. First pitch from the Moose is right in there for a strike. Why wouldn't it be? Mike Mussina. I'll tell you this, folks. In my golden age growing up watching baseball, to me, there was no better pitcher than Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux was the GOAT. Pedro Martinez was filthy in his prime. Randy Johnson was unhittable at times. There's a breaking ball hit to second base on a couple of bounces to McLemore over to first in time. And there you go. Easy ground ball. No hard contact off the Moose. To me, Mike Mussina was second best in terms of control and command, the ability to mix up pitches, hit corners, have hitters off balance. To me, it was Maddux 1 and Mussina number 2. What do you guys think? During, I don't know, let's call it from the 93 to 2005 era. What do you guys think? Here's a pitch low to Brian McRae. So many generations of baseball talent, fathers and sons. Look at the Moose with that kick. Now, where was that pitch, ump? Hey, we don't have that strike zone that we get to use to be able to complain with certainty over a bad call. That looked pretty good, though. I'm assuming that was Hal McRae there in the dugout. Let's give this a little bit of volume. That pitch is low. And, of course, we don't have a permanent scoreboard. We don't know what the count is unless you're following along. This is how we used to watch baseball, folks.
This year competing in the Central Division along with the White Sox, the Indians, the Twins, and the Brewers.
There's a pitch right in there. So he was behind 3-0, now 3-1. Moose ain't walking anybody. Oh, that was hit hard.
But foul. And it's 3-2 to McRae.
And you know what else, Mel? George Brett's gone from the field, so the Royals no longer have that marquee position player that they can count on.
They're hoping that rookie Bob
Man, I miss
Melvin
John
and
Lowenstein.
minor leagues can take
He was
over
my
Brett's
favorite color
leading
guy.
spot. But this team had trouble scoring runs last year, even with George Brett. They were 14th in the league, scoring only 675 runs.
Clemens and Jack Morris, they're definitely great pitchers. Clemens, his longevity, I think, has to be questioned with the performance enhancement stuff.
Foul the other way.
But you can't take away from how good he was from the very beginning of his career with the Red Sox.
This is a tough time of year when you don't.
But those are power pitchers for the most part. I guess Morris is sort of a hybrid power, little half power, half control. Look at McLemore get down and get one. All right. Not the most graceful play I've ever seen, but
And the ball kind of tailed back to his right. He was actually lucky to have caught it.
But it appears, John, he hits the ball.
oh, the ball have a little English on it.
The bat a little bit, so therefore, you look like he's going to pull the ball, but it goes the other way. Second base umpire Rick Reed actually says the ball is safe, and then either Mark gave him a convincing look or whatever, and he eventually calls him out.
Oh, no replay to worry about. Wally Joyner, Wally World.
Much of a spring, hitting just .213.
Hey, I don't know how many people told me during the spring those numbers don't mean anything, especially if you're a veteran player.
Joyner had his best years early in his career with the California Angels, a runner-up to Jose Canseco for Rookie of the Year honors. Hit 34 home runs, and it was expected he would become a big power hitter, but Royal Stadium, now known as Ewing
Never did
Stadium,
quite
not really a power hitter's ballpark.
get there, did
Spacious,
Joyner.
hurt him.
Oh, he got that one, though.
In the air to right field. Hammond's back, and he's
Hammonds is there.
2-3 inning for Mike Mussina, and I'm sure he'll
Oh, I have to say, I mean, the defense and the positioning and McLemore helping out there. A couple of hard hit balls. I was going to say, are we watching perhaps, because again, Moose, previous season, good record, but the ERA was well over 4, which for him is, let's skip through these commercials here. So I'm wondering, are we about to see a vintage Mussina start, 8 innings of no runs or 1-run ball, handful of hits, hardly any hard hit balls. But that first inning, a couple balls hit hard. Just the defense was there.
While this is Oriole starter Mike Mussina's first opening day assignment, it's the third opening day assignment for the Royals.
First year after the Angels for who? For Joyner? I think so.
Ace, right-hander Kevin Apier.
That would make sense for the loss of George Brett to go out and get a name like Wally Joyner to bat third in your lineup. I can't recall Brett and Joyner on the same team, so yeah. Kevin Apier was really good. He had some really good seasons. What was his ERA the year before? Did it show? Where's the ERA?
6-1 2 years ago in 1992. He had a no decision against the Oakland A's in Oakland.
I got to do the math. 68 earned runs in 238 innings. How well is my math? It seems pretty good. Only 183 hits.
With an over-the-top delivery, he's got a sneaky.
A lot of walks, though.
So excellent velocity, a curveball and slider, and a dandy splitter really complicates things for the hitters.
All right, let's get going. Stepping up to the plate,
He's going to hurt his arm.
Brady Anderson. Ladies,
But really,
stay dry now. Stay dry.
Is that windup? He falls off towards first base, but the delivery's already done. And Greg Biagini, the hitting instructor, says if you don't pick
Look
up
at the
that
standing
window,
room only
talk
here.
about
Place is
the real
packed.
point, where the ball comes out of, he's a very difficult guy to follow.
And here come the Mashers. Brady Anderson,
There you go, folks.
and Rafael Palmeiro to face Kevin Apier, who is 1-1
Brady
against
hit
the Orioles
290 in the
last year,
spring.
2-3 against them lifetime. Brady's
This
numbers
isn't a
from
50
year
home
ago
run
were
season
like
quite
an
yet for Brady.
increase in his home runs, particularly here at Camden Yards. He hit 15 here in 1992 and only 2 last year.
Now, Mel, he's gotten stronger. The home runs are going to come.
Janet getting talkative now.
Apier's first delivery is high.
All right. See?
You have to tell yourself
Note
that I
to
wanna hit more
current
home runs.
Orioles,
They're gonna
take a
come for
first
him
pitch.
because he is maturing and becoming a much better player and a hitter at the plate.
Especially if you're the leadoff hitter.
Fastball in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Brady hit .290 this spring with no homers. He drove in 11 runs.
Really, what happens if Jeffrey Hammonds out of the 9th spot has a great year? He gets on, he can steal bases. Brady's going to see an abundance of fastballs.
That's low, and it's 2-1. Johnny Oates says he loves this lineup. He said we've got speed at the top of the order, speed at the bottom of the order, and the mashers in between.
So let's see. I'm going to reference. I don't think I'm going to get anybody to talk to me tonight. That part of it. Whoops. Here's a swing. Just give me a sec to look through my notes here.
Ripken and Hoyles and Sabo. Pretty imposing lineup.
They talk in terms of 8 guys hitting 20-plus home runs. They have that capability.
What you got, Brady? All right, stay alive.
Of this lineup, the 9 players starting today for the Orioles, the top 8 have at least one 70 RBI season each, and the top 7 batters have all reached the 80 RBI plateau in a season. There are no weak spots in this batting order.
That's how we like it. No weak spots.
Just inside, and Aker goes.
This is how you work a count, folks. This is what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do.
You come up against a kind of pitching staff that they're seeing this afternoon and Wednesday. You get a quick read on what kind of lineup you have against a good pitching staff.
Brady reaches for one.
That's a can of corn. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that, Jeffrey. I'll admit I've never heard much in the way of positive things about Brady Anderson, the personality off the field. I haven't heard many negative things, but I feel like I haven't really heard many positive things either. That's the skyline, folks. That should be the skyline. That's right. Okay, here's Devereaux. Come on now. So, folks, there is a poll up right now in the chat, and right now it looks like the Jim Abbott game is going to be the one in a couple of weeks. 54% want to see Jim Abbott face the Orioles from the 1989 season. There's a strike. Outside edge.
Yeah, he marched into his comfort zone there toward the end of spring training.
Devereaux loved to smack on that bubble gum, didn't he?
He was back in center again, but they just swung the bat well.
1-2 to Devo.
But again, manager Johnny Oates with Palmeiro has constructed this lineup about as well as.
How'd it work? We lost to. Is it we lost to New York in the 95 ALCS and lost to Cleveland in the 96, right? 95 was the Jeffrey Mayer year, and 96 was the so close but lost to the Indians year? Or do I have them reversed? Somebody help me out.
At both ends of the spectrum of the lineup, you got those big guys in the middle, but really identically. This ball club can hit home runs throughout the entire lineup.
Oh, he got a hold of one there, down in the corner. That ball is gone! Bye, birdie! Mike Devereaux on opening day turns on an Apier pitch and smokes it into the bleachers and left. 1-0 Baltimore, 2 batters in.
Just like that, the Orioles have struck.
Let's go, folks. Oh, I'm feeling it.
It's magic. You
I love it.
Keep in mind that Kevin Apier gave
oh, God.
8 home
All right.
all last year. In 238
Boom.
and 2/3 innings, and Devereaux takes him
Boom.
deep, the second batter up on opening day. Ground ball foul down the right field
So here's
line.
Palmeiro in his first Orioles at bat.
Greg Biagini said, he doesn't swing it, he drops it. And that's what he did on that low inside fastball.
Palmeiro's first O's AB right here.
On Saturday against the Phillies, a 415 shot over the right.
And he already broke his bat.
When you throw one.
God, look at that Bromo Seltzer tower. You can't tell me. God, what were they thinking? How? Look, folks, I wasn't around during the time they built that building. But was there a stink about it and how they were blocking the tower by putting that building up amongst Oriole fans? Because I tell you, I would have been in the streets with a bullhorn going, tear this building down. You're blocking my tower.
A good hitter in Baltimore, 323 lifetime average in Baltimore, and 321 in this ballpark.
No, he's going to wear that flag court out in right field. My initial impression here, and the way he eyeballed that part of the.
Let's see what Raffy can do. Stroked. Oh, just foul.
It's only 318 feet down the right field line. Easy pickings for Palmeiro with 37 home runs last year.
He's got such a quick bat, too. I mean, you'll see him trying to pull the ball in that direction.
Well, I asked him, I said, how do you hit Apier? He said, well, I don't really hit him that well. In fact, the numbers are 207, 9 for, actually 6 for 29. But he said, I did beat him with a home run. A night he pitched a one-hitter against us last year.
By the way, folks, just as a reminder, this channel, you can see, is Trust Your Stuff. Go over there and hit the like button. I'm doing it right now. That's at least I can do. We are using somebody else's upload to watch for my own content. Trust Your Stuff. Hope that's cool with you. We're going to be watching some retro Oriole games throughout the winter, every other Friday night. Okay? So, folks, that, by the way, means upcoming games will include December the, what is it? I know one's the 20th, so 14 days before that is what, the 6th? Yeah, December 6th, December 20th, January 3rd, January 17th, January 31st, and to be determined February 14th, okay? Those are the dates. So we're going to get through about half a dozen games over the next few months.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Palmeiro. Popped him up. Mike McFarland will have the play.
That's not your best first Orioles at bat ever.
Makes the catch for the second out. We understand
that looked like a Santander foul out. Here's Harold Baines. Hey, Shante, welcome back. Welcome in. We're in the bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Orioles on a Mike Devereaux solo shot.
Johnson has just lost the no-hitter. We'll get more details when we get them.
Yeah.
Seattle leads 2-0.
Yeah, that's up there with blocking the tower. That trade.
Ball 1 to Harold Baines, who had a good spring, hitting .333 with 4 home runs.
Folks, I don't know if you knew this.
Jim, I mean, how do you pitch around anybody?
But
like against the Detroit Tigers when they had K-line.
Let's look at this pitch. There's a tweet out there that's been used by a couple of content creators. So this is a fact. Since the 2022 season, I guess, the last 3 years, nobody has spent less money in free agency in baseball than the Orioles. The Orioles have the lowest amount of money paid toward free agency of any team. That includes the lowly Rays and their tiny payroll. That includes the A's, who aren't even in Oakland anymore. I don't know where they are. The Marlins. Okay? Here's a ball hit on the ground and through a base hit on the right side. And Harold Baines, with that sweet stroke, is on at first base. Time for Cal Ripken. Or is Cal hitting? Yeah, Cal's hitting 5th. Yeah, so he should be up right now. Let's see Cal get an intro here. Oh, there's the horn, too. Cal's coming up. I'm sure. Is Rex Barney still here at this point?
He has tremendous range, but couldn't make the play on that ground ball. And Baines is aboard.
There he is, folks.
Single. And here's Cal Ripken, who had a fine spring, hitting .338. With 2 homers, he drove in 16 runs.
Yeah, my point is that it's time to open up the wallets.
Got off to a very slow start, first half of the season, then caught fire after the All-Star break, hitting .292.
What you got, Cal?
Breaking ball for a strike.
Well, he's got that splitter. He's got the slider.
Now with Baines running at first base, that is, he is not too fleet. Even a gap shot probably doesn't score him. So Cal's just going to have to hit it out of the ballpark, I think. All right, he'll just take a single. Can Baines get the third? See, even with 2 down, Baines can't get the third.
Well, good offenses feed off each other. I mean, it's just
All right, a little 2-out rally here after the Devereaux home run.
Else is going to pick you up. The fact that Baines gets the hit allows Cal to come up. There's a fastball. It looks like a fastball right in the middle of the plate. And not when Cal had he had an excellent spring, as Mel Proctor told you. He's not going to miss
vintage.
Didn't miss him the second half of last
Absolutely.
year.
Look at that packed yard. Look at Cal Ripken. Look at the tower. Nobody beats the whiz.
And Chris Hoyles is swinging a hot bat.
Chris Hoyles, folks.
He hit .343 in his last 14 spring games.
So Mickey Tettleton is already gone at this point. Mickey Tettleton was one of my all-time favorites during his years. But Hoyles, what a great replacement.
The Orioles never would have imagined, Mel, that Hoyles would have come around as quickly as he did and turned into the kind of power hitter he has become.
Yep, we're going to just have to hit home runs with a team like this. We're going to have to be home run dependent.
They really hit the jackpot when they got a hold of Chris Hoyles. They were lamenting the fact that they lost Mickey Tettleton, but I'm telling you right now, they're not hurting at all.
Chris Sabo is on deck. The Orioles lead 1-0 on a home run by Mike Devereaux. Hoyles with tremendous power to all fields. He can take you deep to right center, as well as pulling the ball.
Up and in. I remember Hoyles had a grand slam at the Kingdome in Seattle in a huge game. I can't remember what the whole context of it was, but that was the big hit from Hoyles that I remember. Maybe it was
pitchers are very, very happy to throw to a guy.
maybe not a playoff game, but maybe it was like a late season.
Not just a hitter.
Yeah, we're set up for an Earl Weaver special.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Apier with a good breaking ball there, though.
Jammed him a little bit.
Off speed.
It was right there. It just sunk, and you're right, Mel. It sunk right underneath his swing. If he could duplicate that.
Come on, Chris. Keep the line moving now. Setting up outside. Good job protecting there.
Johnny Oates decided to head north with 2 the starter and the backup Jeff Tackett at times this spring.
Well, I don't know what would be fun to watch if I knew what the outcome. I hope you're not talking about this game, Michael. Is the outcome of this game that score?
His form at the age of 35 and was released.
Oh no.
Gave him the option of reporting to AAA, but he decided to retire. They like the idea of Dedman's left-handed.
Yes, it's D.L. Hall and Johnny Oates. Hoyles with a pop-up to left center. McRae coming in makes the catch, and the inning is over. Oh, right, the grand slam. Oh, that must have been it, Michael. I think you're right. I think it was big because, yeah, it was like a ridiculous football score of a game, and that I think we're probably down by a ton, and that was the big hit. I love being reminded how old I am, Ashante. Hey, maybe we'll hear from our Cubs fan here in about 15 minutes when he's scheduled to come back.
The Orioles 1994 media guide is now on sale.
384 pages. Well, I'm not going to spend $10 unless I get at least 400 pages. You better get to work. I love how they're advertising how many pages down to the exact number. Are you counting page 1 that's just empty? I mean, come on.
84 pages chock full of information about the Orioles, and the media guide last year was voted the best in baseball.
I used to have media guides. I loved them.
By Mike Devereaux. Mike Mussina retired the side in order in the first, so he'll face the
I always wanted an
4-5-6
apartment in
for the
this little
Royals.
row right here,
Catcher Mike McFarland, third baseman
so I could just
Terry
walk
Gaetti,
over to the
and
game.
designated hitter Bob Hamlin.
All right,
Mike
Moose is
McFarland
on for his
led the
second inning of
Royals
work.
in home runs and RBIs this spring with 5 homers, drove in 12 runs. Ball 1.
I'm pretty sure Oates played, Michael. I don't know if he tasted much of the bigs. I think he was kind of in that Earl Weaver zone. Kind of more of a minor league hanger-on kind of guy. I could be wrong. He definitely, I mean, he wasn't like great. If he had any major league, experience at all, it wasn't much.
He has made some improvements behind the plate.
Look how clean. I know Moose has always been clean-shaven, but he looks so young here. He looks like he couldn't even grow a beard if he wanted to.
He can hit.
Fastball is high. Mike Mussina appears to have plenty of zip, plenty of velocity on that fastball today.
We're talking control. He threw hard, 92 miles per hour in his last start against the White Sox. Made a lot of bad pitches. And got 6 runs off it. Location is important for him.
And he goes 3-1 to a good hitter. And Mike
How can I
McFarland.
enjoy this? I don't see velocity. I don't see barrel rate. I don't see launch angle stats.
Favoring the arm and the back injury he had yesterday. We'll look for that.
It's like I have to watch the actual game or something.
3-2 to McFarland.
That pitch is fouled away.
We mentioned Mussina's numbers, 40 hits and 26 2/3 innings this spring. Were there springs that you pitched poorly, and then when the season started, things just clicked in?
Yeah, it took me a long time, but the thing.
Hey,
that
folks,
concerns
it's
me
been a
is
while
I've
since I've had a
always
special
tried to
lucky.
see the way hitters react to him, and they reacted very well. Where you used to have him totally confused.
Let's make this a party.
So he would throw that pitch for a strike.
Oh, a
down
rare
the way,
walk
down
from the
again,
Moose.
And then when he came upstairs, it was like a shot. This spring,
A
he's
leadoff
up in the
walk
strike
from
zone with all
Mussina.
3
Yeah,
pitches.
this is definitely
Changeup,
not.
the curveball, and the fastball.
Whoa! Look at the riz this man has right here, folks. That's something special. Is that Dick Bowman right there? No, Dick Bowman looks like a badass, doesn't he?
Pitching coach Dick Bosman
Or Bosman, sorry, Dick Bosman.
with
Sorry.
great interest as he walks the leadoff batter Mike McFarland. The Royals have the tying run aboard. And Gary
Hey there,
Gaetti
Rod.
up.
How you doing?
Gaetti hitting .339 this spring.
Yeah, Michael, I'm pretty sure this is second full season, number 2. I think he came up in 92 for a cup of coffee. 93, he was in the rotation, and then this is his like sophomore year, first opening day start. And McFarland finds a hole. So a walk and a base hit to lead off the second inning for Kansas City. Mussina has got to get out of a jam.
Up in his upper 30s. Always has been one of these kinds of hitters, Jimmy.
Al McRae said
You can hear Rex Barney on the PA.
We have, and that's what he gets. Belt high fastball. You know, he's the type of guy, if you're a pitcher, you don't mind having him come up there every once in a while because he strikes out about every 3rd time up. And if you get him to hit the ball on the ground at somebody, you can turn it.
Bob Hamlin, I just remember him being a big dude, but
And here's
really
the
couldn't hit
designated
worth
hitter,
much.
rookie Bob Hamlin taking over for George Brett. He comes up with
Kind of a Ron Kittle, from that Ron Kittle, Pete Incaviglia mold, you know?
nobody out. Runners at first and second. The Orioles ahead 1-0.
Nice curve. Nice curve from Mussina to get ahead there.
Royals organization for years, but he's had trouble staying healthy. Underwent a spinal fusion, disc fusion a couple of years ago, and it wasn't until last year that he finally played.
He looked fresh. He looked dope.
Well, he's got a lot of natural power.
He's got the drip.
He can pull this ball too. He can really
Setting up outside, and that's not going to get a call.
To Hamlin, who spent most of last year with Omaha in the American Association, where he hit 29 homers, drove in 84
I mean, this
runs.
guy looks like he should be working in a cubicle somewhere.
Did not have a good spring. I think he hit about 197, and I asked him about that. He said, I thought I'd get more fastballs to
Fix
hit.
my computer.
Really threw him a lot of junk.
A very patient hitter, as Jimmy said. An explosive
Come on, Moose.
ball.
Get a ground ball. This guy can't run. There it is. Nice stop by Raffy. Get it out of your glove. Okay. All right. Moose covering the bag. Second and third, one out.
It takes a lot of the responsibility away from that second baseman. You have to go over there and plug that hole up, and you've got a left-handed first baseman able to make those kinds of plays.
Well, you always, as a pitcher, tell the first baseman to get everything he can because
good thing Raffy got to that ball.
You work on it every day in
good thing
training.
Hamlin runs slow.
One thing about Rafael Palmeiro, he's underrated as a fielder.
By the way, I miss the old days when the scoreboard had just that classic SK hot dog logo. Like, I thought that was always their intention, was to keep the advertising on this scoreboard looking like old-fashioned like this, but they eventually just did away with that, right?
I think the one thing about Rafael
they just said,
Palmeiro,
put whatever advertisement you want. It doesn't matter.
Outstanding first baseman. That could have been a run in, runner at first and third, and now you have runners at second and third and one out. Usually could have been a base hit into right field.
All right, you need a strikeout here, Moose, of Dave Henderson, who's 0 for 7 off of you.
Henderson, who came up with the
yet to
Mariners,
figure you out, Moose. You're the Moose.
In Oakland. He's always carried the reputation of being an outstanding clutch hitter.
Gets a curveball comebacker, checks the runner over to first, second out. That's the Mussina I know.
And he had McFarland scrambling back.
That's right. He would have had to play there, but I think it was justified in going to
You
first.
guys thought Mussina was going to give up some runs.
Well, it goes back to what
Hardy,
we talked about,
har.
Flanagan saying that occasionally Mike Mussina will fall off. This time, watch him. It's a breaking ball. Look, a knuckle curve ball. He doesn't fall ball. Feels his position. You made a good point, John. I think
Give me that.
He feels he could have had a play at third base. You'll see him react right here.
You do not normally want Dave Henderson hitting a comebacker to you, but
in his
yes, he
heyday,
was.
Mike
7
Mussina's
Gold
heyday,
Gloves,
he
I
knows
believe.
with 2
7
outs now,
Gold
he can get
Gloves
the
for
next guy out.
Moose.
So maybe this
Give or take one. I think
he's
it's
getting a
7.
little bit more confident.
Greg Gagne is the hitter. He takes a fastball right down Broadway.
Outside black right there.
Gagne, a 250 lifetime.
So I don't remember the Royals signing Gagne and Gaetti, both infielders on that World Series Twins team from, what, 91?
Well, you have first base
90 or
open.
91?
You have a guy that can't hit on deck. He's right out there for his glove.
Hey, Janet, it's my pleasure. You know, I miss hanging out with you guys so much. I really do.
1-1. Jose Lean hitting
I'm hosting my other channel, and we're having fun hanging out, but
he hit 10 home runs last year.
my initial malaise of the Orioles season ending so anticlimactically, so miserably, it's over now. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready already to give it another go. We got to fix this offense. Whatever the hell went wrong, I still think we got a roster that can go deep into the playoffs. I think we're built better than the Yankees. I do. Whether they retain Soto or not, and it's looking very much like he's going to go to the Mets.
Of about 2.5 runs a game, and that's how you go 18-5. Talk about clutch hitting. This is clutch pitching. Tough situation. Do you get the hitter out?
All right, let's see Moose get out of this jam. Look at that. Oh, my vintage Moose. Setting up outside. Oh, come on. A little bit of that tailback action. Look at that. See where that ball is right there? Look at that tailback. Oh, and the umpire saw it too. Beautiful. And that step off the rubber, that is so vintage Mussina right there. Look at that. Look at that. God, why, dude? Why did you scorn us, man? It's one thing to go sign with the Yankees. Why didn't you go in the Hall as an Oriole? Why didn't you go into the Hall as an Oriole? You spent more years with us. You could have been a guy that we talk about with the same reverence as Cal. He was still a phenomenal pitcher, though. The bitterness. It's hard to. We weren't in his shoes. We didn't have to put up with Peter Angelos. John Miller had to go to. You know what I mean? Like, fucking Peter Angelos. Sorry, did I curse?
Our next telecast will be on Wednesday.
Sorry.
As the Orioles and Royals resume the
here we go. Bottom of the second. I'm trying to speed up some of this. Hey, by the way, my stepmom used to work in a law office on one of these top floors. I was only in that area once, but I remember it vividly. I was like, oh, wow. I have a reason to go up to the top of this building.
I mean, the Orioles had an opportunity with a couple of guys on and Hoyles at the plate.
All right, the debut of Chris Sabo, Cincinnati Red. I think did he win Rookie of the Year for the Reds?
You look at a guy like Kevin Apier, his lifetime earned
He was a
run
really
average
good
is
rookie, and then he just never quite
good pitching performance from your pitcher.
lived
You
up to
also
that
have to take
after
the
that
opportunities
first season.
when they come, when they arise.
Yeah, Janet, you're right. I shouldn't punish myself too much. It's a natural reflex.
Hitters like to talk about the different styles in the two leagues. The National League pitchers will challenge you more than the American League pitchers. I'm not so sure that's as true as it was a few years ago.
No, I don't believe it now, Mel. Certainly narrowed the gap a lot. See a lot of breaking ball pitchers.
I think the big thing with Sabo was he was the first to really wear these like goggles versus just the, you know, birth control glasses that these other guys were wearing during the era.
Fastball is low, and Apier goes 3-0 to Chris Sabo.
3-0 on Sabo.
You know, if you can be a 500 pitcher and
Actually, if my memory is right, I want to say Sabo does do something in his debut. Now, obviously, if he walks here, that's not the memory I'm thinking of. But I want to say he had a good first game. Here's the walk.
Sabo draws a leadoff walk. The first free pass issued by Apier.
Because we're only going to do that to the opposition. They're going to go, yeah, that guy signed 5-year, $30 million. Good for him.
What a guy. Mark McLemore coming up now. And you talk about
Mark
McLemore. Day debuts, perhaps the most auspicious was made by McLemore's former high school teammate in San Diego.
Nice guy to have.
Sam Horn in
Can play infield, outfield, switch hitter.
Sam making his Oriole debut with a pair of 3-run homers.
Got the speed, not much pop. Decent average though, 284 last season.
The year before.
I think the second one came off Steve Farr.
Of course, 284 in 1994 is a lot different than 284 today. 284 today, you're in the All-Star game.
McLemore, who was career was almost at an end a couple of years ago, now a starter, an everyday player. And Sam Horn just the other day was sent back to the minor leagues by the Yankees after hitting 38 home runs at AAA last year.
Absolute shame.
Lowenstein. Lowenstein did not mind sharing his thoughts.
That's why they got that DH slot.
God, he was just such a down-to-earth dude. He didn't feel like you were watching
McLemore had a fine spring, leading the team in hitting with a 339
like some
average.
stuffy broadcast. I thought Mel Proctor was kind of underrated as well as a play-by-play guy.
Orioles 1, Royals nothing. Bottom of the second. We're glad you can be with us for opening day. Nothing like it.
He had some great calls, Mel Proctor, over the years.
McLemore sees more pitches per at bat.
All right, we don't need to see a pitching meeting. Yeah, let's speed it up. We got a pitch clock. I'm using it. There we go.
Not the confident ones. And if any hitter that I remember of 1993, McLemore got better hitting counts. It looked like he was almost, until he had 2 strikes, looking for that fastball and hitting it back at the pitcher, right center, left center.
I'm going to go try to retrieve another topic to talk about with these current Orioles as we watch. There's a called strike.
How many lineups can boast a number 8 hitter who drove in 72 runs?
Chilo, I appreciate it. Thanks. I hope I can at least regain the subscribers that I've lost since the end of the season. There have been 0 gains, only losses, because that's just how it goes with a channel like this, I guess. That ball slapped into center pretty well, but room out there for McRae. He makes the catch. Sabo goes back to first. All right, so let me look over here.
One of the league's better defensive center fielders. Really gets an excellent jump. There's tremendous speed. And here's the phenom, Jeffrey Hammonds, batting 9th.
Yeah, so
13 this spring, beginning his 2nd year of professional baseball.
I guess we can talk about what needs do the team have for the offseason. Obviously, if we don't re-sign Burns, we need to find an ace. If we don't re-sign Santander, we need a power bat that needs to be a right-handed bat, if not a switch hitter. And the thinking is, what kind of money are we willing to spend as this new ownership has a chance to, make an impact here? Hey there, Seeley. How you doing?
I'm telling you, they project somewhere between 280 and
Jeffrey Hammond's at the plate.
They think perhaps with his tremendous speed.
My goodness, this is 30. This is 30 and a half years old.
Whether or not those kinds of numbers come to fruition,
folks, nobody had
certainly has the potential to do that.
Like America Online didn't even exist. That was like another year or two. I mean, it might have existed, but I mean, nobody really had it. This is like the last year before computers ruined us.
Some batting instructors will tell you they can teach that, but you can only do so much.
Anywho.
Well, I certainly haven't
yeah, so
instructor who can teach bat speed.
we're getting Felix Bautista back, so that's like getting a signing of, imagine if Felix Bautista was healthy and on the free agent market, what kind of contract he'd fetch. Well, we're getting him for nothing. He's coming back. Oh, what a bad route. That was a Juan Soto route, but he recovered. Look at this route. This is Juan Soto route running right here. He drew. That's Dave Henderson. Yeah, he's not known for his defense. He did it in a complete, like, half circle here. He's going straight across.
Skies one to right field. Henderson makes a running grab. He broke in on the ball. He has fun out there, doesn't he?
How did he ever catch that ball?
It was tested. That was going to be.
Everybody could tell he did not take a good route to that. He still somehow got to the ball. Wow.
He gave away at least 6 strides coming in after that ball. But still made up the ground back to catch.
Hey, by the way, I still can't forget the guy that was in my chat during the season who was trying to tell me that Juan Soto was an elite defensive player, as well as being one of the best bats in the modern day game. And I'm like, dude, yeah, no argument. He can hit. He can absolutely rake Juan Soto. You're trying to tell me he's a good defensive player? No, he's not. And all I'm seeing in all these conversations talking about the money Soto is seeking is the fact that, yeah, but you're really only paying the guy for one side of the game because, yes, he's great offensively, but he's really not good defensively. Yes, he's got a strong arm. That's nice to have in the outfield.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think that'll probably.
But it doesn't really compensate for the fact that his range is miserable. His ability to read the ball off the bat and get moving, he's in quicksand. I don't know how many times I've seen a ball hit to right field, the camera cuts to the outfield, like a split second after contact is made. And normally when you see that camera cut, you see the right fielder already on his way toward the ball, whichever direction. Soto, most of the time, he's still standing in place. It's like he's still figuring out which way to go. He's not a good outfielder.
When you talk about running, I look at
this is not.
as a team.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Am I interrupting Janet's second session with Brady Anderson? Folks, Ms. Janet, look out. Stay out of her way. She's making a lot of mess around here.
We've already talked about Palmero with a fine play in the first inning. Not that he just added home runs.
I apologize, Janet. I don't know what I was thinking.
Fastball high and away, and it's 2-2.
High and away.
Brady now secure with a 3-year, $10.25 million contract extension.
Pop foul and out of play. So, yeah, our needs. We're going to need somebody to replace McCann. That should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I've already seen the free agent market for a second catcher to back up Adley. That's all you need. A veteran, probably already in his 30s, who's not really an offensive We're not looking to spend $10 million on a season like we did with McCann. McCann made as much money as Craig Kimbrell. People don't really realize James McCann. Nice play, by the way, there to end the inning. People don't really realize that James McCann was making a lot of money comparatively for the Orioles payroll. 10 million, 10.4 million. That's off the board now. And you're probably going out and getting a replacement before Basayo is ready. That's probably just going to be around like $2 million. Because that's all you really need. You know, when McCann came in, he was there to back up Adley as Adley was kind of breaking in. You know, you wanted somebody a little more established and able to, you know, if need be sort of the number one for a while Adley got his feet under him. But now that Adley has established himself, I mean, I know Adley is struggling, and it's kind of hard to just pencil him in as this, you know, force at catcher when he really had a bad second half. Kimbrell has not signed anywhere yet, but he's also not officially retired. But I think he's done. Jeffrey, I honestly think he's done. I don't think anybody's signing him. I don't think he's going to take like an offer that he would look to be like an insult. Like, hey man, I'm a Hall of Fame pitcher. By the way, Kimbrell with that season with us might have pitched his way out of the Hall of Fame. In all honesty. He just might have.
Kids 16 and under can sign up now for the Cal Ripken
Junior Orioles. He would have been a better candidate had he retired before joining us this past year. If he winds up retiring now, because that was not a helpful season to his case.
Leading the Royals 1-0. Mike Devereaux hit a home run off Kevin Apier in the first inning to give the Orioles the lead. And Jose Lean.
All right, top of the third.
For the Royals in the third.
In my opinion, we need two starters, one to replace Burns and one to complete the rotation and move Suarez to the pen as a long reliever. I'd like to get two as well. I think if we go after one ace and one like middle rotation guy. I think this is what we do.
Well, he brought back memories of Frank White.
This is. I'm trying to look at projected contract values and trying to be realistic about how much the Orioles are willing to spend. The thing is, who are we trading at this point to get a guy like Crochet, Michael? Because we don't have. We still have a good farm, but I mean, what are we going to get? Package. A package would have to include either Mayo or Basayo at this point, I would think, Michael. And I don't know if we want to move either of those guys.
Then got ground outs from Hamlin and Henderson and struck out Greg Gagne with a fastball on the outside corner to leave two men on base.
Because after Mayo and Basayo, you know, we've got prospects, but they're not as, you know, we don't have like a half a dozen prospects like we did this time last year. Where like, you know, where Holiday was on the list, where Kersted's like still kind of hovering on the list. You know, those guys are, you know, off the list now. Now the list is getting smaller. You got Vance Honeycutt, obviously, we just signed. I think he's already like our number 4 prospect right out of the gate, like sight unseen. Enrique Bradfield Jr. is climbing his. I think he's like 3rd right now. That's probably the person to look for other than Basayo to maybe make a debut in the 2025 season, I would say. I think Basayo is a lock to come up at some point. It's just he's going to start the season in AAA. He already ended it at the end of last season there. Unless there's a serious setback, I would expect Basayo to join the team at some point. I would say Bradfield is probably next in line after that, other than guys that aren't ranked as high in the prospect list, like a Judd Fabian or who's the other outfielder we have? Dylan Beavers. You might see a Dylan Beavers or Judd Fabian pop up just to see what they can do, because it's about time to see what it is they can do. If they show any, you know, positive signs in the minors.
true. Whitey Herzog also said of Coleman, he's not really a bad guy, but he's a follower.
Do you feel we can get Burns to return if we pay him good money?
Follows them when they do some
gosh, I don't know.
He can light a fire under himself, and he's going to help this ball.
I mean, with Corbin, the deal is, other than the guy coming over from Japan, is it Sasaki? Burns is probably going to fetch the highest price tag out there. So he really can have carte blanche in terms of like where do I feel best. I just don't know how Corbin Burns feels after 1 year's after the 1 year with us and the way he didn't get any run support in that playoff game. Like if I'm Corbin Burns, I'm wondering, I would need the Orioles front office to really convince me that I'm going to be signing with a team that is gonna, figure it out. Be a perennial playoff team and not go into the playoffs with putting up goose eggs. I feel so bad for Burns with that playoff start. 1 run pitched into the 9th inning. We couldn't give him a thing. He might just say, you know what, I don't want to be here. That's the question. You know whether or not Burns wants to stay if the Orioles were to offer him the same amount of money as another team, and he stays. But if 2 teams are offering the same amount of money and we're one of them, and he wants to go somewhere else, then he never really wanted to stay. And my thing is, if I'm paying somebody the kind of money that he wants, I want the person to want to be there. You know what I mean?
He's not altering his stance as much.
So I don't know.
He's going the opposite way with balls that are pitched away from him.
I don't know what to do about. I think we can. I think we can go all in and give Burns the contract, but maybe it's better to go find a guy like a Burns that you give whether it's a trade and he's 1 year left on it, and like Burns' situation last year, or if you go out and get like a Blake Snell or somebody that's going to be a little bit cheaper and probably a year or 2 less on that. I think Burns is probably going to want like 6-7 years. And I think for a starting pitcher, given the frequency of injury to the position, it's just too much money to commit. And along with that, Corbin Burns has seen a decrease in his strikeout rate year after year after year for like the last 4 seasons straight. I'm not saying he's not one of the best pitchers out there, but you just don't like to see the trends. And then say we're going to give you like a big contract. I'd rather target somebody for like a 3 or 4 year deal. I think that's the most I want to commit to a top of the line pitcher. Oh, he's picked off. See you later. The Moose picks him off. Oh, that was a beauty. Look at this spin and throw right here. Oh, get out of here. Go back to your dugout, sir. Look at that slap tag by Raffy. Ugh, you are so out. Lovely stuff. Big difference between how to win in the regular season versus the playoffs. I think you agree with that, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. Yeah, playoffs is a different animal, and I thought we had a chance to learn a lesson from the previous year, the sweep at the hand of the Rangers. But wow, it's just the offense. If the Orioles ended the month of June and then went in somehow just started the playoffs like right there, I think we could have made a deep run. But something happened to the offense, man. It was a disease that was felt up and down the lineup. Everybody is trying to go yard, and I don't know why. Because the Orioles, when they were doing well, they were hitting home runs without trying. And that's why I got a little bit annoyed with that whole home run dependent offense thing from a very early stage of the season. Because I'm like, yeah, but they're hitting the ball hard. It's just also happening to leave the yard. You know? Their metrics across the board have them at the top, in terms of, just hitting the ball hard. But yeah, that went away. I don't know what happened. All-Star break came. Even Gunnar, who had a good second half, had, not as good of a first half.
You're in the first inning to give the Orioles the lead.
We got to figure that out, or else it's going to be a long season and not in a good way. All this other stuff we're talking about is really going to be irrelevant if we can't figure out what the hell went wrong with our offense in the second half last season.
Pick themselves up defensively, and this is part of it.
Yeah, strikeouts went up.
Earlier in the game, tremendous shot to left to give the Orioles the lead.
And that's why there were so many situations where we couldn't get guys over. Somebody would get a leadoff double, and then the next guy would come up and strike out. Not get a productive out, not hit a ball somewhere to get the runner to third. Oh, what a beautiful opposite field stroke by Devereaux, and what a catch by McRae. A tip of the cap on both directions, folks. That's baseball right there. Oh, my. Look at Devereaux smoked it. McRae.
Fastball is smoked to right center field. McRae on the run.
Oh, my. God, I love baseball.
What a play.
He got a tremendous jump. He picked that ball
and a tip of the cap.
Right away.
Hey, speaking of caps, folks, it's been a little while.
During the course of the season, too, from this ball club, because they have some guys out there who can actually go and get that ball. Look at this full-out dive, sprawled completely. Oh, that ball.
How you doing?
As a defender, you got to
the hat.
And convert them into outs, and that's
saying
what he did.
Hello to you. Happy holidays. Hope you guys all are going to have a nice turkey day next week.
With a half swing, and it's 0-1.
Here's Raffy at the plate. Popped up. Foul ground his first time up.
This park, 321 lifetime.
The hat. What do we have up here? I'm sorry, I missed this other comment from Bruce. In the playoffs, you need great pitching, starting in relief and offensively. You've got to be a great small ball team. Then you got to play great D. He was failed in 2 of those 3. Yeah, I mean, you saw it in the World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. I mean, and if you saw some of the reporting, the Dodgers actually released their scouting report of the Yankees and exactly how they aimed to defeat them, and they followed it to a T. They're like, the Yankees defensively are extremely below par. They're also not very good at base running, and they absolutely, just took advantage of those weaknesses of the Yankees and exploited them, and absolutely kicked their ass. And I feel like we know those weaknesses as well, and that's why we've fared well against them in recent years, last couple of years. I know exactly how to beat the Yankees. I'm telling you. They have a flaw that's very easy to exploit.
To hit the ball out in certain situations when the count was in his favor, 2-0 or 3-1. If he got a fastball,
we'll see how much better they get
trying to hit it with some authority
this next season.
He's not a big guy. Doesn't have big hands. Doesn't have the kind of hands that can just crush you in a handshake. But he does have good bat speed, as you alluded to earlier, Jimmy. And he gets the bat through the strike zone quickly.
That's what Greg Biagini. Very few hitters, again, talk about that bat velocity.
I think Holiday would have to have an extremely bad spring to not be named the opening day starter at second base.
Fastball just missing, low and away.
Like, he's got to be hitting under 200.
Also got a reputation too, because most hitters can't take that pitch.
Not looking good defensively.
Even though it was off the plate a little bit.
But man, I really hope it's the other way around. I really hope Holiday looks like a #1 overall pick this year and starts to really be a guy that you expect to see in the lineup every day.
Knows
maybe good enough to eventually be a leadoff hitter or something, top part of the order with that speed. It took him forever to just steal a base. Like, I don't know if you guys remember me, like, just crying about that for the first, like, I don't know, 150 or so plate appearances for him. I'm just sitting there going, you know, the rare times he'd get on and what would be to most people a base stealing situation, you know, like close score, you know, whatever. And like, I'm like, when is Halladay going to run? When are you going to run? And then finally he took off once and then he just started running. It's like he was, it's like he was afraid to try it the first time. He was afraid to, you know, pop that cherry, as they say. There's Raffy with his first Orioles hit.
And Palmeiro has his first hit as an Oriole.
Jimmy, you were talking about Mussina.
That's what that was.
To his left a little bit. How about Apier? Even more exaggerated.
I doubt Judge will put up numbers similar to this year, but they'll still be elite numbers, Michael. He's still going to be a 40-plus homer guy. An OPS guy at 1,000, you know, top 5 in OPS without even trying. You know, I mean, he's an elite hitter.
First regular season hit wearing his new uniform. And here's Harold Baines, who absolutely
I don't know if the average will be as high. We'll see. Look at Baines. Oh, that's a double play ball. Even though it took forever to get started, Harold Baines is not getting down that line.
No runs, one hit, nobody left.
Oh well.
The Orioles lead Kansas City 1-0.
See, and that was part of the problem with the Orioles sort of super teams from 95, 96, from what I remember, because we had guys like Harold Baines and Palmeiro and Bonilla. These guys didn't really run all that well. Cal was a good base runner, but he wasn't fast. Alomar helped, obviously. And Brady gave us some speed. But even Brady wasn't running like he was in its first couple of years once he started juicing, I guess. Here's O'Donna Matthews. How are you doing? O'Donna. O'Donna.
Look for our brochures and recipe cards. Eating 5 a day is one of the
Oh my, folks. We've come a long way in 30 years, haven't we?
Actually,
This is now ancient. How is this ancient? Dale Hunter, defensiveman for your Washington Capitals. All right, folks. Welcome back. Wally Joyner at the plate.
Pitched 3 strong innings so far, allowing just 1 base hit. Wally Joyner will lead off the 4th. He was up in the 3rd when Brian McRae was picked off to end the inning. Ball 1. Now, Jim, it's going to be interesting to see how Mussina goes after these hitters.
Yeah, Chilo, definitely. I would rank Adley finding his feet again is probably the most important thing. But again, I think whatever went wrong with Adley was team-wide, because his first half wasn't all that bad either. You know? He was rightfully the starter in the All-Star game. You know, the numbers were there. The on-base percentage wasn't quite as good as the previous year. He wasn't walking as much, and he still wasn't walking as much all year long.
There's a strike, and it's 3-1 to Joyner, who flying to run.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy prediction there, Michael. I mean, if Gunnar had maintained his first half throughout the whole year, he would have been a top 3 MVP. He would have done it this year. He again, his numbers dropped off too in the second half, or else he would have done it this year.
It's become a pitcher's duel now with both
early predictions, Gunnar. Yeah, I remember when Joyner came up with the Angels. Stupidly thought he was destined for the Hall of Fame. Turned out to be a nice player, but probably not elite and certainly not Hall of Fame material. Yeah, I remember because it was. Well, I told you guys, 1988 was my first year of like fully committed Orioles fan, like where I truly just fell in love with the game of baseball. It was 1988 that season. And that was Joyner's. It was either his rookie year or it was his sophomore year, because Wally Joyner was like, as soon as I started collecting baseball cards with fellow kids my age, everybody wanted to have a Wally Joyner card.
trying to
Yeah,
deposit
he I believe was Rookie of the Year. I think it was 87. Oh, that ball was crushed. All right, well, now we know why Mike McFarland was batting cleanup.
I'm going to give that one to you, Jim.
That's it.
Mike McFarland
Exactly what he tried to do, and he got a pitch he
touches
can
up the moose. That ball was a laser.
So McFarland, who hit 5 home runs to lead the club this spring, unloads off Mike.
Well, there you go. He had 5 homers in the spring. That happens a lot on opening day. You'll see somebody hitting cleanup just because they are crushing it in spring. And there you go.
Just where he's looking.
Oh, Chilo. I appreciate the prediction, but that's actually something I should talk about. Guys, there's a very good chance. 14 people. It's such an intimate affair. Here's a ground ball to short. Ripken across in time. And down goes Gary Gaetti. Or is that Greg Gagne? I always get him confused. Yeah, here's the deal. I may be moving.
Lance Johnson. John made a statement that he's hit
And I have to figure out when it's going to happen. But with the way my visa is scheduled, it might happen during the season. And that means I'm going to have to miss at least a couple of games.
I think the count was 3-1. He got behind in the count.
Sometime next August.
Where it usually is off Mike.
I kind of have a plan, a workaround plan, but the deal is I might be hopping over one country over to Cambodia for a year or two.
Had 4 home runs his entire career.
I've been doing some research about one of the cities there, and it's kind of becoming it's growing a bit of buzz over recent years. A city in Cambodia called Siem Reap. Siemreap. I'd never even heard of it, other than just like I live one country over, and it's only a 6-hour drive away. And I didn't know anything about this town, but I might be moving over there for a couple years. It's got some appealing things going on. One thing though, I can't smoke weed there. At least that's what it
because most of
says.
our flights are short. This is what I'm.
Hey, we got out of that jam. All right, folks, we gotta keep going here. It's already coming up on the 10 o'clock hour.
On WNUB 54.
We wanna see what happens here. Smoking Al Koken.
Our all-sports stat of the day is an opening day performer. Cal Ripken Jr. has batted .304 with 3 home runs.
Well, Jeffrey, there might be a workaround. I think I have an idea, which would be, but it also. It's August, right? So September, October, November. It should work. It all depends on whether or not I can get a 60-day or a 90-day visa. If I can get a 90-day, I'm good. I can just re-enter and just stay 90 additional days and finish out the baseball season. And if we get all the way to the World Series, I'm still covered. But if it's 60 days, it's going to basically end like second week of October. And if the Orioles are in the playoffs and stuff, that would be the worst case scenario where I have to do something right when the Orioles are like, say on the verge of getting into the ALCS. Oh, look at this kid. Oh, that kid's knocked out. There you go. That's what it's all about, folks. Enjoy the game, kid. You never had more fun.
Too much cotton candy.
Obviously
hot dogs.
doesn't like pitching duels either.
I've never slept that well in my life. Cal Ripken is hitting. Wake up. All right, if you're a father, you wake your kid up for this. You're like, son, Cal is at the plate. And go back to bed here in a minute. Went the Siem Reap showed me some incredible pictures of very cool architecture. Might have been, yeah. The Anchor Temple is like the largest like man-made something like in the world. There's some crazy man-made monument. Yeah, Angkor Wat. Yeah, Wat is Thai for temple. When you pai Wat, you go temple. That's the other thing for me, though, will be the language barrier because, some Cambodians speak some Thai, some Cambodians speak a little bit English, but it's a Khmer language, and I don't know it, and I don't know how much time I have to really get it down. But oh yeah, Bruce, definitely. That would be like going to Paris and not even like just looking at the Eiffel Tower like on the skyline. Like it's a huge, yeah. That's like the one thing I know about the place is that. And they got a thing called like Pub Street, which looks like a really cool hangout. Lots of expats and locals mixed together, markets, bars, nightlife. And it looks like the right size for me. The only real drawback for me is that I'm a coastal person. Sorry to just shut down Cal Ripken's at bat to talk about my personal life. But, you know, I'm me. What do you want me to do? For the same reason other people hate me and tell me they're unsubbing, it's the same reason those of you that are here right now enjoy me, because I'm me. But, yeah, one of the drawbacks for me, I'm a coastal person. For some reason, the idea of living too far inland anywhere, whether it's the United States or outside the United States, I don't know. It gets me, I don't know. I need to be near water. But what's weird is at the same time, I could never live on an island because then I'd feel too claustrophobic and naked to the elements. I don't know. I just need to be on a big piece of land but near the water. I don't know why. And this Siem Reap town is up inland. It is not anywhere near any major body of water. So that's a concern for me. Hey, Cal Ripken at the plate. Oh, Bruce, trust me, there's a lot of Oriole fans that hate my guts.
You can understand it by all the personnel around him.
Yeah, you might have missed another guy, Bruce. Even in this tiny little get-together. I know, Bruce, but believe it or not, I really want to be, enjoyed by everybody. I'm not trying to flex. I just don't like people coming in flexing on me first thing. It's like, what are you doing? If he pulled that shit like at a bar or where a bowling alley or whatever, I wouldn't just sit there and allow you to do that. There would be some kind of response. But you do that on the internet, and some people think you're a jerk. Others will say you're just protecting your house or whatever. I don't know. I don't enjoy it, I'll tell you that. I'd like everybody to enjoy my content. That would be ideal. Hey, Seeley, how you doing? Did the Orioles have any Latin American prospects? They do have one. They just started a year prior, Seeley, like a Dominican, like an entire revamped scouting farm system strictly for the Dominican Republic. And I want to say we signed somebody like at around 16 years old in the last like 6 months. I can't remember the kid's name though. But we did. We're just starting to really dip into that right now. Or maybe Chilo's talking about who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of somebody who's like 16 years old.
I'd like to try.
I might have saw it on like an Orioles, what do you call it? Whatever their social media channel is, where you get to see some of that minor league stuff. I can't. Hold on. I need to have a lucky. Folks, we've been on for a long time. We've just hit the 2-hour mark of the stream. I need a lucky. As Chris Hoyles is at the plate. And that pitch looked a little bit outside and belt high, but that's a called strike to Hoyles.
I mean, I'm a Lucky Strike fan.
I'm a Lucky Strike guy. Hey, by the way, this is so easy. That's the other reason why I'm facing this direction, because I'm not watching on my actual television. I'm just watching along with you on my laptop. So I don't have to sit here and rotate my head back and forth nonstop for 3 straight hours. That's nice. Hoyles takes a pitch upstairs.
12 and 8 in 1990 and was American League Rookie Pitcher of the Year. 13 and 10 the next year. And has put
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's no negative.
Last year, 18 and 8 with a 2.56.
There's nothing but good things can happen when you expand your scouting, into international, hotbeds of talent.
That's how good he's been the last couple.
I mean, that's what it's all about. Be the first to find the next big,
what pitching's all about. It's got about a 160
big deal.
IQ.
I'm honestly curious how things work with Japanese players in terms of what will eventually happen. Because right now, what seems to be the pattern is that they, become great in the in their pro league, and it feels like they have to do some some amount of service time before they're even eligible to sign with a team over here. I don't really know how that works. Yeah, Bruce, I was talking about Tettleton about an hour ago for a minute. He had the same I mimicked his batting stance. I was obsessed with it in the 1989 season. I mimicked it, and much to my demise, it was not a good batting stance. Hoyles into the corner for a double. Look at that helmet flying off.
Chris Hoyles into second base with a one-out double.
Chris Hoyles with a one-out stand-up double. Yeah, the Fruit Loops. Michael, I think Bradfield does. I think Honeycutt probably not. I think Double-A is probably Honeycutt's target this year. I think Bradfield starts the year Double-A, Bowie, and gets to Triple-A and maybe gets a cup of coffee in September or something. Or if there's like a rash of injuries in the outfield, maybe he gets a look that way. But, yeah, other than like an injury crisis, I think the earliest you'd see Bradfield is like a September call-up next year for just as the 26th guy on the roster or whatever. Or I guess at this point it's 27, 28. You have 26 to start, one extra hitter, one extra pitcher.
Had a chance to talk to Darren Dalton behind the batting cage.
We might be carrying 3 catchers. That's something I was talking about on the Discord. Because I'm thinking if Basayo really does rake and he's ready to go, we need to figure out a way to get Adley and Basayo the at-bats.
But you can do that to everybody. But if you make a mistake with a breaking ball or a high fastball, because he's a real good high ball hitter.
And if they're platooning between catcher and DH, then we can pretty much have them both in the lineup every day. And that's a advantage that no other team really has, not just in baseball right now, but I'm trying to think back when we'd have a platoon of DH and catcher with offensive capabilities like Rutschman and Basayo could potentially have. Now, again, Adley needs to return back to the Adley we thought he was before the second half last season. But Basayo, if everything trends the way it's looking, he's going to be a great addition to the lineup. This might be Sabo's hit that I'm thinking of. Again, I have a vague memory of Sabo doing something on opening day for the 1 year he played here.
Some ankle and knee problems and the ruptured disc.
But that might be one of those Mandela effect things going on. Yeah, this was the strike season, Doug, 94. So this was the year the Expos really got the short end of the stick. The Expos had such a good team this year. Larry Walker, Pedro Martinez. Wow. You rarely see this. You rarely see this. Look how animated, I guess I mixed the word in it. One. Home plate umpire is on this appeal call. Normally, you see a home plate umpire appeal like this sternly. He's basically telling the first base umpire to ring him up. You know what I mean? Because he's like, man, I think you went. Yo, 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 first base. Did he go? I think he did. Did he go? He's like, nope. No, he didn't go. Montreal did have the best record at the time. I'm pretty sure. They were playing like 650 baseball. They were so good. Such a shame. If they go on and, win a pennant or the World Series, if that season doesn't end prematurely, they might still be playing in that city today. That might have been their shot at not having to, relocate. Maybe get a new stadium. But it didn't happen. And, yeah, that's a tough one.
Knows a good check swing. Yeah. He took a few of them during his minor league career.
He knows a home crowd.
Now Tampa Bay is going through it with their stadium.
There's that ball you're talking about.
And God, it just seems like that city never intended for that team to get a major league caliber stadium. Tropicana Field was supposed to be hey, we'll play here until we actually build. Sabo striking out. All right, maybe he didn't have a great opening day. Yeah, Tropicana Field was supposed to be, one of those places like, expansion team can play here until we build, the real stadium in 2 to 3 years. Meanwhile, how long have they been playing there? 28 years now or something? It's ridiculous. And now they have no choice but to stop playing in that dump of a venue. And they're not even considering a new building it they're looking for a new city. They're playing at the Yankees minor league stadium in 2025. Yes, Steinbrenner Field, which is directly across the street from where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. It's actually a much better location than Tropicana Field in terms of stuff to do in the area and access for potential fans. Yeah, I think the place seats 15,000. They weren't averaging that much at Tropicana Field. They weren't even averaging 10,000, I want to say. So they've got they've got enough seats, and their attendance could actually go up because it's just better for baseball. The Tropicana Field is. I get if it was the 70s where AstroTurf was king and domes were the rage and all that, I get it. It's just another one of those, but we're so far past it now. It just seems sacrilegious almost to play baseball indoors in a dump like Tropicana Field.
Position.
Hey, thanks, Robert.
Hits, no errors for the Orioles. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors for the Royals.
We're just hanging out and watching some old Orioles baseball. It might be a 4-hour stream.
Grounded foul.
Oh, look out, buddy. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Be careful now. Did I ever have my lucky? I don't think I did. If I did, I don't remember it, so that doesn't count. I think I did.
Didn't have to come in as a non-roster player.
Did I?
And he had a position.
Oh, wow. Janet, have I had a lucky? There's a line drive, base hit in the right field. Coming around third is Hoyles. Here comes the throw, and it is not in. Well, it's dropped by the catcher, McFarland. Mark McLemore with an RBI double. Hoyles comes in to score. Play at the plate.
Well, Mark McLemore, who last year was a very productive hitter with runners in scoring position, comes through again.
McLemore, give me some more. Let's go. Folks.
Where'd you from?
Baltimore.
What?
Baltimore.
Baltimore? What's that?
Look, it doesn't really matter, all right?
Ooh, ha.
To be called out. But Hammond's on deck, first base open, and they pitch to McLemore because of the reputation of Jeffrey Hammond.
2-1 Baltimore in the bottom of the fourth. Hammond's left field, backing up. McRae's got room. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. But the Orioles regain the lead on an RBI double by Mark McLemore. We head to the fifth inning, 2-1 Baltimore. Hey, look at me back in my play calling, right in my wheelhouse here. Hey, that's I put this song on my soundboard. That's crazy. Where is that? Ain't nothing gonna break my... Oh wait, hold on. That's a whole nother thing. Where did I put that on here? And it's in this commercial. That's wild. Maybe that's why I love this song. Maybe that's what made me think of adding that song to the soundboard. Just memories of that commercial, probably played during every Orioles game. Because all these commercials during the Orioles game, they'd be the same ones all season long. You would know all 27 commercials. And they would drive you crazy. Here's that play at the plate. All right, it's time to have a lucky. Thank you, Ms. Janet. I'll be right back.
2-1 as we go to the fifth inning. Dave Henderson, Greg Gagne, and Jose Lean, the bottom of the order, coming up for Kansas City. Henderson grounded to the pitcher his first time up. Fastball is low from Mike Mussina. Henderson missed most of.
Oh, Doug. Have you looked around, Doug? It's 2024, man. Everything's weird, man. This can't be any weirder than anything else.
Mike Devereaux coming in.
Devereaux with a catch in shallow center. And where are my luckies?
It was Devereaux who gave the Orioles the lead with the first inning home run, and Mike McFarland tied it up at the top of the fourth.
Let's see how this introduction goes.
Mark McLemore base hit in the bottom of the fourth.
Red flag, anyone? Oh, the shadows are creeping over home plate. It's going to make it tough on the hitters here in another inning or so.
Second time. Gagne came up with 2 outs in the second, runners at second and third. And Mike Mussina struck him out with 2 strikes on Gagne. Threw him a fastball and just painted the black. A perfect pitch on the outside corner. Starts him off.
Oh, that's a good first pitch to get an easy out.
Devereaux jogging in. 2 down.
Mike Mussina did not.
That was a Willie Mays Hayes swing right there. Do your push-ups, kid.
This is a complete turnaround here that we're seeing here this afternoon.
Well, he's done.
All right, Moose, you got the lead. It's opening day.
Against Henderson, you just talked about, Mel, and he got the key strikeout against Gagne. He wasn't doing any of those things.
Here is the light-hitting Jose Lean. Came up with the Pirates. Back around 86, 87.
Shading him toward right field. He just tries to punch everything to center and to right center.
Yeah, that's short.
He was on that Pirates team with that great playoff series with the Braves. Was that 1990 or 91?
1-1.
He really is hardly a threat at the plate.
Yeah, the type of guy that you make him hit the ball over your head. Even, normally you move.
Yeah, Gagne and Gaetti, Doug. Greg Gagne and Gary Gaetti, both twins on that World Series team, are both in this Royals team in '94.
Only 3.
Couple of GGs.
With his glove. Great glove man. Won a Gold Glove for the Pirates 2 years ago. Last year led Major League second baseman in fielding. A roller up the middle.
Ripken, that is as routine as it gets.
And a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Mussina.
1, 2, 3 for the Moose. Gave up that home run ball. Other than that, he has settled in nicely.
You can't use a mobile phone.
Let's skip ahead. Let's get this going, folks. We've already been on for 2 hours plus.
Devereaux and Rafael Palmeiro. Napier has allowed 2 runs on 6 hits so far. Walked 1, struck out 1.
That sounds right, Michael. That sounds right.
here this afternoon throwing 5 innings and coming out. This is not spring training.
Because we had Lee Smith this year. Yeah, that sounds right. Lee Smith was on the team this year, and then Randy Myers was the next season. That sounds right to me. I'm not 100%, but I'm like 95% sure. That sounds right.
Really threw well, but
yeah, it's a Corbin Burns kind of start so far for Mussina. Hey, everybody, let Janet know Brady's up.
Brady Anderson, who has flied to left and grounded to third.
Oh, talked earlier.
There are those sideburns. I'm still rocking them all these years later.
But the Orioles started out last year 5-13.
30 years later.
And it's tough to play well when you see, I mean, the best that the other team has to offer.
On the outside edge, Brady doesn't like the call.
And I would think it's doubly important this year to get off to a good start because there are such high expectations for this club. From ownership on down to the
I'm telling you right now, Brady Anderson, if Twilight came out in the early 90s, he would have played Edward. He would have been Edward. And I would have been Team Edward.
2-1.
Well, they played well.
But it just didn't work. The timing didn't work.
Spring training went 13-6 with 1 tie over their last 20 games.
Yep, Kirby Puckett. What a great hitter he was.
Where they'd like to have it.
They began spring training.
What a great all-around player. Great attitude, great everything.
Rolled foul into the Oriole dugout. It's 2-2 to lead off batter Brady Anderson.
I don't think you see very many good.
And of course, to pudgy children like myself,
as far as won-loss records are
guys
concerned,
like Kirby Puckett, Tony Gwynn, John Kruk, you looked at their physiques and you went, you know what?
I mean, this is get-go day
I might be able to play baseball. I could maybe do it.
Struck him out.
Perfectly spotted.
Janet, what happened there?
Opinion, John, what sets that up? That pitch
what happened with that AB, Janet?
2 balls and 1 strike to Brady and threw the split breaker fastball, and now 2-2. What do you look for?
Big buck, big buck. Stop it all.
Ah, Janet.
I mean, most hitters, especially left-handers, like the ball down in, but not that far down and not that far.
The ladies in the audience are distracting Brady at the plate.
Ball 1 to Mike Devereaux, who gave
Here is Devereaux.
Home run.
Home run already in the ball game.
His first home run ever off Kevin Appier.
Yep.
Appier is very stingy with a long ball. Not only did
Alomar, Bonilla, Myers.
All year last season.
And I think we're missing another name in there.
That's because he has such a variety of pitches out there, and variety can work wonders on the mound. Very infrequently can a pitcher make.
We'll probably be watching a game from the '95 and or '96 season during this retro play call experiment, whatever you want to call it, over the next few months. We'll get a game from that era, and we'll take a good look at that team.
Orioles 2, Royals 1, bottom of the 5th.
Well, I'm sure it's been done with one pitch, but the idea is to somehow alter a hitter's approach at the plate. You can do that with more than one pitch.
Yeah, I want to say he didn't really make a significant blockbuster like free agent pickup until probably Miguel Tejada. What was that, like 2003 or something?
And he walked it.
After that initial spending.
Second walk given up by Appier, who didn't want to give in to him and throw him anything over the plate.
There's a walk to Devereaux.
But actually, the lineup is constructed so that you hope that he doesn't. Because this guy's coming up next.
So Rafael Palmeiro comes up with a
yeah, Doug. In fact, the opening ceremony, we watched a little bit of it. We didn't hear, but John Miller was on the PA calling out the Royals roster as they lined up the third baseline, and then Chuck Thompson called out the Orioles. Or is it first baseline? Yeah, third baseline, Casey, right? Orioles are first base home dugout, right?
To be afraid to take a walk. And the point you make is that if you're Mike Devereaux and you hit a home run,
I should be able to look over Rafi's shoulder and tell, but I can't look in there.
The next guy drive you in.
GM during the time was who was it? Is it McPhail?
The count to Palmeiro as Appier tried to stay away from his power and fell behind 2-0, and that brings.
Or no, was it what's his?
Well, you can understand it now because a hittable fastball.
Let's look it up. Orioles GM.
Part of most hitters' balanced diets at the plate. That's the pitch right there that Palmeiro wants to hit out there. And that's the pitch that Hal McRae does not want to see thrown.
But it's funny, Mike McFarland, I said,
Paul
when Appier gets in
Richards.
trouble,
No,
I said,
wait.
You know what usually causes it? He said
No, that's
he gets
the
away
original
from his
Orioles.
fastball.
Pat
He's afraid
Gillick.
to
That's
throw
the
it.
name. Pat
Afraid to
Gillick.
throw it to Devereaux.
Pat
And
Gillick,
here,
yes.
Right now, he's afraid to throw it because he knows Palmeiro's looking for it.
I forgot that name until just now.
Launching it.
Palmeiro at the plate.
He gets a strike on the
That's a
outside
tough
corner, and it's
strike
2-1.
out there.
He made a quality pitch, 2-0.
One moment.
See, that's the pitch. If you're Kevin Appier, you want Palmeiro to swing it because he can't hit it. Look where it is. The new camera we have, in fact, it's outside. Looks outside, but looked pretty good from the center field camera.
Check on Devereaux. He's back in.
Mike Devereaux draws the throw. Devereaux has said he wants to increase his stolen base totals, but you don't figure he's going to run much.
What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer this Oriole bird logo, or do you prefer the cartoon bird face? I assume most of you prefer the cartoon bird.
Not necessary, unless he wants to run later in the game.
But I'm kind of on the
In a
fence.
closer game.
I did enjoy this look,
Good off-speed pitch by Appier, and
but
it's
then again, it
2-2.
was during like my formative years, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it's. Maybe that's why I like it more than most Oriole fans.
Palmeiro, you're not expecting this, that he's going to exploit that particular pitch.
Yeah, Gillick was the Blue Jay GM that built the team that won the World Series. Won 2 World Series.
Splitter low, and it's 3-2.
Full count on Palmeiro. Devereaux at first. Orioles leading at 2-1.
On deck is Harold Baines.
There's the tower. Come on, Raffy. Hit the warehouse. Oh, no. Strike him out, throw him out. Nope. Devereaux got in there.
Well, Palmeiro strikes out, but Mike Devereaux steals second.
So look at Devereaux. Home run and a stolen base on opening day.
Yet another changeup from Appier got Palmeiro that time, and almost a quick swipe tag here.
I tell you, he looks out to me right there. I think that tag got
This
in.
is what we talked about, team speed, though. If you are going to put a runner in motion, good enough speed to get to
I think he's out.
McFarland on a 3-2 count has to wait and make sure
But
that
we'll
the
never
umpire
know.
has a good view of the play, even though the ball was eventually swung at. Otherwise, he takes the pitch away, and you have a first and second situation.
Oh.
Swing and a miss by Harold Baines.
Oh, Baines' eyes got wide on that one.
Baines killed the Royals last year. He had .459 against them with 17 hits in 37 at-bats, and in one stretch from April 30th to May 2nd against Kansas
All right,
City,
Harold,
he
we
had
got that
8
runner in
consecutive
scoring
hits.
position just for you.
Yeah, but we're seeing some real pitching here this inning.
Fastball is hit sharply into
Boom! That is Harold Baines.
Henderson's throw to
Devereaux's speed throw is misplayed, and the Orioles add another run, folks. 3-1 Baltimore. Harold Baines with the RBI.
It's magic. You know.
Because he's going to go inside and sacrifice himself to get the run in. Even though Devereaux
All right.
likely would have scored with
Opening
his speed,
day
but
so
a good
far
pitch to hit, and he
has
drives
been a
into right
splash,
field.
has it not? Folks,
But Harold feeling that
where are we?
Henderson
Splish, splash, I was taking a bath.
They try to cut it off, and it goes all the way to the catcher. But 2 innings. And for a guy that led the American League and earned run average last year and a very low one 2 years ago, he could have pitched.
You hear that?
around
Kevin
left-handed
Appier,
pitchers that
the
get to
previous
right,
year,
decided not to.
led the American League in ERA. So he was no slouch.
Perhaps what ended the thinking
He was no
Cal
slouch.
Ripken has a 321 lifetime average against Appier.
Orioles need a
I'm
good
telling you, this
DH for
lineup's like a migraine.
2025.
It
Well,
just won't go away.
If we sign somebody to replace Tony or re-sign Tony, then I think Kjerstad and Mayo could sort of platoon DH, because
You go take a shower.
I can see a rotation where Kjerstad and Mayo are getting at bats without playing in the field, unless they have to.
But occasionally you do have to take some gambles. You have to take some
I think between the two of them, you could, hopefully one of them really takes off.
The way Mussina's pitching, this could be one of them.
But they could kind of platoon until we figure it out.
Now, I never was a proponent about putting runners on base, but sometimes you get that feeling. If I make a mistake, it's going to hurt me.
Especially as long as Mountcastle's still on the team. As long as Mountcastle's still with us, I think DH is going to be like Mayo, Kjerstad, taking turns.
And early.
My gut feeling is that we're looking to sign somebody else for less money. Cal Ripken, opposite field, get down. It's a foul ball.
Ball had some slice on it.
Oh, Ripken nearly snuck one down the opposite field line.
Civilization will not advance one iota until they widen the foul lines. If they do that,
John Lowenstein demands they widen the foul line.
He's hitting his best. He's taking the ball the other way.
God love that man.
Clearly foul. But how much do you want to widen it? That's the thing.
Well, baseball needs a commissioner. Well, step up.
Yeah, let Lowenstein run the league. He knows what to do.
Game would never be the same.
Yeah, so
can you say yes?
The guy I'm looking at, Michael, is Jerkson Profar as a target in free agency. He's also a switch hitter. He had a .380 on base percentage last season. Cal strikes out. He's 31 years old. I think he'll take a contract for not only less per year than Tony, but also less years. It is a risk because he's coming off an all-star season. He was great, but it's really the first year that Profar has had a season like that. I mean, he's been in the bigs now for like 8 or 9 years, and that's the first really good year. It's a matter of whether or not he finally tapped into whatever makes him be the best that he can be, and this is what Profar is going forward, or is it a case of just one of those players that puts it all together one year and then they regress back to, what they had looked like up until that. You see it happen. But if it was like a 2 or 3 year deal and we got him, switch hitter, I love the fact that if we let go of Tony, we replace him with another switch hitter. I love having a switch hitter in there. You don't really lose anything on defense. In fact, Profar probably slightly, he's a little quicker, but maybe not. Tony, if he could reach it, he normally would get it. You know what I mean? But, pretty similar. Tony, obviously more power, but Profar gets on base more. And I feel like the Orioles have enough power as is. If we lose Tony, we were second in home runs last year. We don't have to be second in home runs again next year. I think we need to focus on, finding ways to score other than the home run. That's not to say that we're a home run dependent team. It's just nice to have a little more variety in the lineup, not just all sluggers. And I don't know. I'd love to keep Tony around, but it's just hard for me to think that we're going to get a season as good as the one we just got out of him, and yet we're going to pay him for what he. And honestly, that's how it should work in life. Get paid for what you did, because you did something great. So pay me. But in sports, it's you want to pay for what you're gonna do. I don't know. Sorry, I shouldn't be pausing. We're gonna be here all night. All right, out of town scoreboard. Get out of here. Get back to the ball game. All right, here we go. Vince Coleman.
Was leading 2-1 in the 7th. Now they're behind 4-2.
Top of the order for the Royals in the sixth. Vince Coleman, Brian McRae, and
Yeah, so if we're losing Santander and we're trying to replace him, I don't think we need to go out there and, replace him with somebody that's going to hit 40 home runs or even 35. I think we need to look more at a guy that is a steady on-base person. And again, I'm not sitting here saying Profar is a solution because I don't know if it was a one-year fluke. If it's not, though, I think it's a great. I think the reason why his price tag is going to be relatively low for the production he put up this past season is because teams are going to look at him as a player that, yeah, just like I'm saying, is this guy worth really putting money into? Was there something magical in San Diego that works for him, and now he moves to the East Coast and he stinks? Like that would stink if that happened. It's just a matter of how much money you got to pay for a guy like that, and whether or not it's worth the risk.
And I suppose if
but that's the guy I like. There really isn't a whole lot of names out there. If you're looking for somebody to be anything like Santander, Teoscar Hernandez is the only other outfielder that's a right-handed bat that is putting up numbers like, home runs not as much, but, slugging percentage is pretty much on par with Tony.
Open a little bit so you can see what kind of lead the runner at first is getting. You know when to throw over.
And Hernandez is probably going to ask for as much money as Tony is. So at that point, would you just go ahead and re-sign Santander? So to me, either you re-sign Santander or you got to look for somebody that isn't Teoscar Hernandez, that's a little lower down on people's radar. And I think Jerks and Profar ticks all the right boxes for me.
Well, we signed
from the and it's really not a big list of names, so there might be a big bidding war for a player like that.
Jim, as you can attest, so much of pitching is confidence and believing that you
Yeah, thank you, Chilo. Thank you. That was another name I had in my mind. Tyler, and here's another name, Randall Grichuk. And maybe you might have seen. I'll give credit where it's due.
But I'm seeing a lot of good pitches this inning.
Here's an easy ground ball to McLemore. Credit to Connor Newcomb, host of the Locked On Orioles podcast, because he talked about this in one of his episodes recently about potential outfielders to target.
This is what our meals look like.
And he was talking about a right-hander that could potentially platoon with Kjerstad in right field. And Randall Grichuk, if you want a right-handed batter that absolutely destroys left-handed pitching, Randall Grichuk, in fact, I even got it right here in my notes. I even put up his slash line right in my notes. Can a Kjerstad right-handed outfield bat platoon work on the cheap? Randall Grichuk versus lefties in 2024 had a .319 batting average, .386 on base, .528 slugging. That's a .913 OPS. That is elite. So if you're only using Grichuk in a platoon situation in the lineup to face lefties, and Kjerstad sits on the bench, and vice versa against righties, and then one can replace the other mid-game if they go to the bullpen, the other team, you've always got the matchup you're looking for. Yeah, so .913 OPS in 2024. And I was like, well, what did he do the year before that? Was he still productive? He was even better. He slugged 600 against lefties in 2023, a .995 OPS. Folks, that's like Juan Soto OPS, okay? That's elite. And Randall Grichuk is a guy that you're not going to be paying an arm and a leg for. But this is only if the Orioles can sit back and rely on Kjerstad as being the everyday guy against righties. And, of course, you're going to face more righties than lefties. But, yeah, you can see right here, I got Tyler O'Neill right here. Similar option. Tyler O'Neill is another one to consider. Sorry for the pausing of everything. Let's get back into this. Where are we? Oh, it's our game summary. Devereaux solo homer in the first. Royals tied it up with a solo homer from McFarland. McLemore and Baines with RBI singles. They make 3-1 Baltimore. That's where we are. It's the Roy Rogers game summary.
The Royals make a pitching
There
change.
aren't any
Belinda
Roy
at the
Rogers
front
around
of the
anymore,
sixth.
right?
Starter Kevin Apier is finished after 5 innings of work. Gave up 3 runs on 7 hits.
Who's in the box here?
Here's Belinda, the ex-Pirate, who was acquired before
Well, the Royals have gone to their bullpen. Stan Belinda.
Didn't exactly struggle through 6 innings, but
Is that Hippolito Pichardo?
In a close game, and now you get a more or less
Mike Magnanti, I remember that.
Out there on the mound, and that gives the left-handers and right-handers
Hippolito Pichardo.
No, the left-handers did not have much problem with them last year. They hit 380, over 380. Right-handers struggled because, I mean, from a left-hander's vantage point, John, as you know, his arm's right out there. You see the ball real well. Does not have a great break.
Ryland homes are built for life. Ryland homes are built for life.
Pretty flat, and he really needs a third pitch.
There's a blast from the past.
Change-up, give the hitter another.
Chris Hoyles.
From home plate.
1 for 2 RBI, or no, double and a run scored. Somebody drove him in. That's right. Now you got the shadows sort of between the mound and home plate.
And he takes a strike. Belinda was a closer with the Pirates. He is a setup man with the Royals.
Let me see what else I got in my notes over here.
Jeff Montgomery, but he had 19 saves.
Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. Is this something you might want to do once every couple of weeks, or is it going to be? Should I do this like once a month? I don't know. I think once every 2 weeks is a pretty good plan. I think every week would have been too much.
Got a good fastball, but it's just
and I don't think once a month is enough.
Right-handed side armor. And that's why he flips up a lot of those.
By the way, how's this poll going?
Sidearm sliders.
Next game will be the Jim Abbott game.
He can keep it off the outside part of the plate.
That would appear to be the case.
Now he's in trouble. 3-1 to Hoyles.
Hey, Eric, how are you? Last chance for you guys to get in on the Discord and talk to me. I'd love to have a chat with one of you people. Give me your thoughts. Bounce some ideas off each other. Let me see what else I got in here.
Pirates had Atlanta beat.
That is very un-BW. Dude, you're being very un-BW right now.
Pirates went home and Atlanta went on to the World Series.
This isn't non-BW. There are rules.
Hit foul down the right field
And
line.
Hoyles fouls one back. All right, so let me look at what I got here.
Royals are once again going to become dependent upon pitching and defense. So, just like
yeah, here's an area where I wouldn't mind spending some money. I mean, Danny Coulombe is gone, right? And I don't know about you, but Cino Perez is okay. Gregory Soto, he's got the potential to be nasty in terms of the velocity and movement, but will he ever find any control? I don't know. I want to get a really good lefty reliever to, partner up with Cano, setting up Bautista in the late innings to replace Coulombe. And I don't mind paying some money there if we can get one of the better lefty relievers on the market.
Just keeps rising. It looks easy to hit until the ball explodes on the plate. The rising fastballs.
Hoyles strikes out.
Pitch to hit in baseball.
Yeah, the Bay Sox. Yeah, can we talk about how these blue crabs don't look that blue? Where is it? Where is the
1-1.
Oh, there it is.
Today has walked and struck out.
Yeah, I mean, these crabs look pretty teal to me. You can't make them any bluer than this?
2-1.
Otherwise, I'm down. I love the flag.
3 runs, 7 hits,
And I like the bat as like the flag staff. That's good stuff. I like the Oriole orange in there with that sort of Oriole font.
2-2. Last year, the Orioles won the season series 7 games to 5 with Kansas City. Billy Brewer,
I just want there. I mean, I know the colors are the colors, but I mean, This crab ain't blue. This crab is more green than blue.
Nice play.
It's blue-green, but it... I don't know. Is the expectation that all the injured pitchers are out for all of 2025? All right, so here's the deal. Yeah, Teal. Here's the deal. Tyler Wells and Kyle Bradish are both expected to return to action mid-season in 2025. So their seasons aren't lost for next year. Oh, right through the 5-hole at first base. McLemore is going to turn an easy out into a double. Well, it'll probably be a two-base error. It should be a two-base error.
I tell you, baseball is one of the few games where the defense is in charge of the ball. So, runs can only be scored when the defense.
Yeah, I mean, I know blue isn't part of our, flagship major league team's color scheme. But, I mean, come on.
And even if it's not this
it's just a little weird to have our famous blue crabs
the Orioles may not get 27 outs,
not look blue at all.
So Joyner, who is normally one of the better fielding first basemen,
Wally Joyner just pulled a Bill Buckner.
And that gives Jeffrey Hammonds a chance to drive in a run. He's flied to right and flied to center.
I mean, I know. Base hit down the right field line. Jeffrey Hammonds. McLemore will score easily, and Henderson is fumbling this baseball. Hammonds should get to third, and he does standing. What a nice swing from the kid on opening day. Jeffrey Hammonds puts the Orioles up now 4-1.
We don't score enough runs to give the other team 4 outs. And here's a perfect example.
Right inside the bag.
Hit the ball everywhere. Homer to left, doubled up the right field gap.
Caleb Ferguson, the best by the look of things.
For a triple.
And it will not be scored as a triple, however. It'll be a double and an error charge to the right fielder, Dave Henderson, allowing Hammonds to go to third.
Well, look at him shift it into high gear, though, when he sees that bobble in right field.
I'll take your word, Chilo. It's something I have yet to really look deeper into is the availability of arms and the bolt from relief pitchers in the free agent market. Another pitching change here for the Royals. Hey, it's one of the James Earl Jones Bell Atlantic commercials. This is why you'll hear me say from once in a while, this is the book that got Bubba cooked. It's from watching. It's the Bell Atlantic. Exactly. The Bell Atlantic call to the bullpen. I'm James Earl Jones. And I'm here to... Why am I being paid all this money for what arrives to everybody's door for free? Who's...
Same book, new name.
Like, why do we even need to advertise? They must have known the writing was on the wall that Yellow Pages would eventually become obsolete. Because why would you even need to advertise? It's like advertising bubbles. There's something you never see an ad for. Bubbles. They just sell themselves, right? Bubbles will never go out of fashion. You got to buy them from somewhere. But you never see an ad for bubbles. How is that? Why, folks? Why? Why can't everything be like bubbles? No ads. All right, back to the ball game.
Joyner booting an easy ground ball to give the Orioles.
So Brady's due up, Janet. Brady's due up.
Here's Brady, who's flying to left.
Quiet, everybody.
Struck out. 2 outs. Jeffrey Hammonds at third. 4-1 Orioles.
You see toilet paper ads, though. You definitely do. You definitely see like 2-ply versus whatever. You definitely see, like quilted northern. I mean, come on. I've definitely seen toilet paper ads. But bubbles? Never. Never. You can't find it. Find me an ad for bubbles. And I'm not talking about Michael Jackson's chimpanzee. I mean the ones you blow. Wait a minute. Let's just drop the subject.
Fastball in there for a strike.
Of course you need bubbles, Janet. A world without bubbles is a world I refuse to live in.
I certainly did that last year, John. Came in with 35 runners on board, only 4 scored. Good way to impress the manager.
Not kidding.
That's low. 2-1.
2-1 on Brady Anderson.
Used to be only be concerned about your earned run average and whatever.
I need bubbles. I need them in my carbonated beverages. I need them in my soap.
How well you really did do.
Base hit! Base hit! Brady Anderson knocks in McLemore. Make it 5-1 Baltimore here on opening day. Oh, my bad.
That's the difference between a ball club that is not one that is.
Brady Anderson with the RBI knock. Everybody in the lineup getting involved. Here's Devereaux. He's already got a home run and a stolen base. He's Ellie De La Cruz up in here. First pitch nowhere near. Folks, Orioles baseball. Give that fan a contract. Pitch. Called a strike.
To Mike Devereaux, who got it started with a first-inning home run to give the Orioles the lead. Then Mike McFarland tied it in the fourth with a solo
April
homer.
4th, 1994. 4494. Folks, that's where we are right now.
And the Orioles have added 2 more in this inning to make it 5-1.
Gone into a time machine 30 years into the past.
Changeup is high. 2-1.
What were you doing 30 years ago? Yeah, that's a good question for the chat. Type in, what do you think you were doing on this very day, April 4th, 1994? What would you have been doing? Would you have been in a classroom of some sort? Would you have been on the job? Would you have been overseas serving in some capacity? What were you doing April 4th, 1994? I can tell you I was 16 years old on this day. I turned 17 May 21st, 1994. I remember right about now I was getting my first car.
Brady Anderson is running a swing and a miss, and that's strike 3.
I didn't get a car right when I turned 16. I didn't even get a license. Devereaux strikes out. All right, so Chilo, what do you think your parents are doing? Yeah, there's James again. All right, rest in peace, Mr. Jones.
Genuine yellow pages. 9 out of 10 use it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The genuine Bell Atlantic yellow pages.
It's the Bell Atlantic call to the bullpen. Take me to the Waldorf Astoria. Whoa. My man. Whew. I tell you, a lot more flexibility back in the day for on-air appearances, right? Does this guy even have a barbershop to go to? Or
from outside the park after the game.
Those glasses. Al Sanders. Sorry, Al.
Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
You can call me Al if you want.
Money, still the most beautiful ballpark in baseball. So highly thought of that 2 of the new ballparks opening, Jacob Stadium in Cleveland and the ballpark in Arlington, Texas, very much emulating Camden Yards.
They are currently talking about the ballparks about to open. And what's funny is the one in Arlington, that one's already come and gone.
I saw a blurb.
I was amazed how quickly they left that ballpark. That ball's tagged. And that ball is caught on the track by Brady.
McFarland homered his second time up.
Of course,
and hit that one hard.
With the wall of recent years, that's an easy out.
Why would he look for the same pitch he just
Where would it land for the wall that we're about to get?
The old Bobby Bonds theory. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bartman, is that you right there?
Oh, no, I just...
Let's see. Oh, there he is.
read something where they actually did have the name name, Jacobs Field.
Look at this guy in a suit. I mean, folks, this is the mid-'90s, and we're still living in an era where you might see a guy show up and watch a ball game like a gentleman, wearing a suit. And look, how much like merch do you see here? Just like
some money paid.
Jersey after jersey.
I mean, I don't know if it's
you don't.
Your actual name.
It's just people dressed.
$13 million over a period of 8 years or something.
I kind of enjoyed that.
You mean, you know, if John and I
even though I'll wear, you know, I'll wear a shirt or a hat or something if I go to the game. I admit it.
John and Mel Stadium.
But I mean,
yeah, it's an ego buster.
After what they paid for
as you can
club,
see,
after
most
what they're
people.
paying the players, most definitely.
That's too high. Too high, not too far.
Brady Anderson back.
He's waiting.
Got it very high. But Mussina has not staggered through the first 6+ innings of this game. Not since, nothing.
Look at those shades. Those are the same shades that are now back in style that Brady has.
6+ innings of this game.
They were this was like cutting edge fashion then, and then they went away, and now they're back in again.
Not since, nothing like we've seen in spring training. Absolutely nothing. I mean, he's pitched out of one jam and allowed a homer and a couple of hits. That's it.
I guess take off a quarter run, Michael.
The only hits he's allowed, a single by Gary
.20,
in the second,
.25.
and a home run by Mike McFarland in the fourth. Here's Bob Hamlin, who's grounded to
I'm
first
just guessing.
twice. Strike one. It seems strange to watch the Royals play and not see George Brett out there.
Well, I saw him yesterday. He was what he's now an executive vice president in charge of throwing batting practice. No, he was out there throwing.
People are pretty bundled up. I guess it was pretty cold. See what, Janet? What's the weather like in Baltimore right now? Hey, there's Brett. There's George Brett. Wait, who's this guy? Who's this fashionable guy right here? He's rocking the hat and the Elvis glasses.
He wants to go to the Indianapolis 500 and do some of the things he hasn't had a chance to do all the years he was playing.
Doesn't he know that's on TV?
And George Brett, he was a
You got to go there and sweat.
he was a firecracker. 40s and raining. Wow.
Change-up.
That's something we didn't see from Mike Mussina. Bob Hamlin said, he said, I saw a lot of breaking balls, and he said,
it's a good question, Michael. I'm honestly not 100% sure. I don't think so because I want. I'm not sure.
Pitch to hit.
No, I think not because we would have seen him in the opening ceremony. They brought out all the other players. We saw Ben McDonald. We saw Sid Fernandez was in that rotation. Who else? But not Eric. Not Scott Erickson.
It's very much like a fastball.
Whoops, volume went up.
Throwing the slider and get rid of all of them.
Fastball is popped up, shallow left field. Brady Anderson toward the line.
Another one.
That does it for the Royals. So Mike Mussina has turned
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Mussina, remember those 2 hits he gave up? It was the home run, and then he gave up a hit and a walk to begin the second inning. And we're like, wow, Mussina doesn't look like the sharp Mussina. This really is a Corbin Burns-like outing. He's suddenly now gone 7 innings, giving up just that 1 run on just those 2 hits. He hasn't given up shit since the second inning.
5-1 lead.
Sorry for the language. Oh, heart of the order coming up. Palmeiro, Baines, and Cal. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, is it Is this the 7th inning stretch? Oh, that's right. Moyer's on the rotation too.
Thank God I'm a country boy. Thank God I'm a country boy.
Coming up on Wednesday, Orioles Royals. Home Team Sports. The channel you cheer for. Oh, hey. Let me get back here one more time. I almost forgot. I'll go ahead and get 5 more of these memberships out because this is the only time in the month of November I'll be on. Next month I'll spread them out a little bit more, but we're going to do a 10 membership for free dump tonight 5 have already been handed out. And 5 more are coming in just a moment. Let me see here. Where are my abilities? There. Let's see who gets them. Now we are having fun. Now we are having fun. All right, 7th inning stretch. Jane. Hey, Jane. I hope your addiction to my channel continues. Get it? Shock 21, Texas Outlaw Mark, Jay Ayala, sorry, Jay, and Giants Fan 56, who I know over from Rising Rhinos channel.
Pittsburgh.
Memberships.
1-0 to Rafael Palmeiro, leading off the bottom of the 7th. He's found
Welcome aboard.
And struck out.
I imagine it's a nice warm afternoon in Denver, huh?
Oh, Raffy got under one. It's going foul.
Has a chance.
No?
Goodbye.
That might be the worst cameraman I've ever seen. Raffy's first Orioles home run. First of many. Here it is.
Warm afternoon in Denver, huh?
Swung on and hit in the air to right. This ball's heading toward the flag court, and that ball is gone. Bye-bye, birdie. Rafael Palmeiro, welcome to Baltimore. The first of many, we hope, from that sweet left-handed swing. Make it 6-1 Baltimore. Folks. Uh-oh. And look how excited we were. We're like, oh my God, we signed like a slugger, and he just slugged.
All you have to do is embrace him. I think he's already been embraced.
Embrace your first baseman.
Yeah.
Man, look how far off the plate Baines is. You got all the time you need, Gaetti. Look how far off the plate Baines is on this.
Embrace your first baseman.
And he went after a pitch on the outside.
He's going to be a big.
Damn. Yeah, that's exactly where you want to throw a ball if somebody's setting up this far off the plate. That's just good recognition there by Apier. All you're going to get is a weak contact like that. Chilo, I would love for there to be, but I honestly don't know what the next threshold is I need to pass. We need more members in order to unlock the ability for more emojis. I don't know what the next threshold is, though. I'll look into that before the next season starts, though, okay? Right now, I don't know what to tell you.
Guy like Sam Horn, people like that.
If anybody's ever got any ideas for ways to improve the channel, please let me know. We got a pitching change. Let's hurry up and get going here. I'm running out of steam. It's almost 11 o'clock now. Boy, that mullet.
Really, he'll get over it. I'm telling you this.
Man, that is a mullet.
The money you make in this game, the fact that he's got a great place to play baseball. And all this together will grow on it. And I'm sure it has already.
Hey, Richie Bancells. How long was he the trainer?
We're going to get a taste of Little Italy and Oriole Park at Camden Yards and all the things that go with this great city. And I'm sure that by season's end, he'll love it.
Well, we're all going to get a taste of Little Italy, aren't we?
Tonight?
No, I don't know about tonight, but...
Jim Palmer just blew off Mel Proctor on air. Anybody catch this? Jim Palmer's like talking about going out for an Italian meal, and Mel Proctor's like, tonight? And Jim's like, no, well, not tonight. Not with you. Are you serious?
We're all going to get a taste of Little Italy, aren't we?
Tonight?
No, I don't know about tonight, but.
In fact, now we've got a taste of Little Italy over the weekend. Sabatino's.
Mel Proctor is begging Jim Palmer for a mandate.
You can sign up now for the Cal Ripken Jr. Orioles Club, including the benefits or tickets to 3 Orioles home games this season.
I think those are just MLB patches. I was looking at them earlier in the game. The big rectangular one, it's an MLB logo patch. I don't know why they were being worn.
This season, for more information, call 547.
I don't know if they were worn all year. I don't know if it was like an opening day thing, but yeah, you can see right there.
There and catch home run balls when the Orioles hit them over the fence, and now he's doing the hitting.
Yeah, he's learned how to hit.
I don't remember.
But he's got that elevation factor.
I don't think they would have worn them all year.
Couldn't be playing in a better ballpark than this one right here with his strengths.
All right, so we got a new pitcher. Let's go.
Hitters too.
And Rafael Palmeiro home run worth another look.
Left-handed pitcher, Jimmy, get that fastball on the inside part of the plate for a left-hander.
That cameraman had no idea where that ball. Oh, this is a different camera.
Just on the other side, if not on top of this wall.
Cal Ripken takes a strike.
One to Cal Ripken, who singled, grounded out, and struck out in 3 at-bats today. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Orioles. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 errors for Kansas City. 1-1.
But I'm telling you, finally, we've got the kind of music.
So what was
here,
Cal's stance
that we can live with?
this particular season, or at least to begin this particular season? Bat resting on the shoulder, brings it up before the pitch.
Told him to stop playing it. Roller up the third base.
That's going to be a hit. Hells yeah. We need more hits like that in 2025.
This afternoon, from the home runs by Devereaux and Palmeiro to the infield bleeder by Cal Ripken.
Well, that's what it was. That's a worm killer right there. Not a thing that can be done about it except just let it roll.
Cal is now 2 for 4.
Get on base any way you can, folks. Make some contact. You never know.
Here's Chris Hoyles, who's flied out, doubled and scored, and struck out.
Yeah, that should be the slogan for the 2025 season. 2025, the year we make contact. I love it. We're going with it. Oh, that was a double play ball.
That ends the inning, but the Orioles pick
well,
up
that did not work.
Homer by Rafael Palmeiro, and now leads 6-1. Last year, Jeff Montgomery converted.
I don't want anything to.
He's hit
there we go.
Pretty well in the past. 4 for 12.
Wouldn't want Janet to miss a moment of a Brady at bat.
2-0.
Is this guy wearing a lei?
Converted 45 of 51 save opportunities.
What is that? What the hell's around this guy's neck? Come on, Brady.
Fastball for a strike. 2-1.
Oh yeah, Johnny benched in a lot of commercials.
Oh, he's a quick worker after
what was that one? Didn't he do an ad for, was it paint or like some kind of, I don't know, some deck stain shit that waterproof your deck? I don't know. He sold the hell out of whatever that was.
Pitch after another, just like a machine.
But back when he was like still playing, he was doing ad. Like he was.
Will play better behind you because
he's been an ad man a long time.
Foul tip, and it's 2-2. This is the 5th time the Orioles.
I don't know about that neckline though, there, Janet.
It's 2-2.
I feel like Brady could clean that up. What do you think, Janet? This is looking a little haggard, Janet. I expect better from Brady. You would never see Dylan on 90210 looking like this. Never.
This is the 5th time the Orioles have met the Royals in a season opening game. The Orioles have gone 3-1 in the previous 4.
You talking about Johnny Bench's bubbles.
In Kansas City when Sam Horn hit a pair of home runs to lead the Orioles to a 7-6 11-inning win.
Oh,
and Montgomery
yes,
out the side.
The #1 sponsor of the BirdWatcher channel. By the way, Brady striking out again. Janet, what the hell's going on? Look at. Hello, can I come in? I want to talk about the Yellow Pages one more time. I know I've already been in 7 commercials. I'm just back for one more talk about the Yellow Pages. Do you have them?
Don't you have anything to fit me?
No offense, Mr. Jones, but you made those genuine Yellow Pages. Look, choice.
Try the Yellow Pages.
Chinese, you want more?
Those are restaurants.
That's right. You put some meat on those bones and come back and see it.
Don't you dare pat James Earl Jones on the belly like, what are you doing?
That's right. You put some meat on those bones and come back and see it.
That had to have been a stunt double. That had to have been a stunt stomach.
You want more?
Those are restaurants.
That's right. You put
Let me take a good look.
some meat on those bones and...
Is that James Earl Jones's gut? I don't even know if that's a person.
and come back and see us.
9 out of 10 use it.
Mexican barbecue.
The genuine Bell Atlantic.
I'm sorry. Did I go off topic? This is what I do on my other channel. I watch stuff and I make stupid comments and we laugh. All right, a lefty on for the Orioles to relieve Mike Mussina, who had a great opening day start. How does 8 innings of 1-run ball sound?
Well, I don't know, Mel. Mussina.
We're going to wrap up this watch party right here.
Mussina certainly hasn't reached the 120 pitch.
Oh, yeah, 94, the Sandlot. Yeah, Michael, you're right. That was about the same year, maybe
I'm not sure why you relieve him
within a year, yeah.
I would think the complete game, finishing it in a majestic.
So there's your bullpen. Lee Smith, Alan Mills, Mark Eichhorn, Mark Williamson. He was solid right-handed reliever several years for the Orioles. About 5 or 6 years, right? He goes back to like the 88 team, I think.
Leave him here.
Yeah.
I would think the complete game.
That's right. Fernando Valenzuela had one season with Baltimore.
Would have been the best thing to do.
Some people forget Sid Fernandez pitched here. This was that year.
Because he was dispatching this team.
Lee Smith closed this year.
Went 8 strong innings, allowing only 1 run on just 2 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 2 and gave up a home run to Mike McFarland, accounting for the only Royal run. But that has to be a very positive sign for Mussina and for the Orioles in light of his poor spring.
I think Mussina won 2 Cy Youngs, but neither with the Orioles. I think with the Yankees.
Absolutely, that little boost in confidence is something.
How he didn't though
on this show.
Seems crazy to me. I don't think we've had a Cy Young since Flanagan.
He was 0 for 3, batting left-handed today.
Unless somebody can correct me, I think Mike Flanagan's the last guy to get the Cy Young.
Struck out and fly to left.
Top of the order here for the Royals in the top of the 9th.
He's got to do it. Going to make something happen out there.
Oh, by the way, I was wrong about Poole. I thought Poole was an Under Armour submarine pitcher. He's not. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Gave up 17 base hits.
But again, maybe just like Mussina, you're going to kick it into gear here as the season begins. Wouldn't be surprised.
High leg kick.
Foul.
Genuinely don't see a high leg kick like that from a relief pitcher in the modern age.
Slider is ripped, foul. By the way, the attendance this afternoon on opening
He did not
day
win a Cy Young, but he finished top 6 9 times. That's pretty amazing he never won it. I mean, I know there were a lot of other great pitchers of the era, but man, he was so good and so consistent.
7,549.
It might just come down to those strikeout numbers, you know. He wasn't a 200 strikeout guy, if memory serves.
Everyone couldn't wait for the season to begin.
Or I guess back then it was more like 225 or more would have been impressive. Because he pitched more innings back then.
Tickets that were given away in the past, so I think you're going to see some record-breaking.
I mean, Mussina went 8 innings easy on opening day. You don't see anybody going 8 innings on opening day. Everybody's like, all right, that was a good 6 innings. We don't want to blow your arm out. It's the first game of the season. Shoot. If you're pitching well, it didn't matter what day it was. You just pitched.
Those freebies, they'll be all sold.
Which is the way it should be.
2-2.
Yeah, I spoke out of turn when I said I thought Moose had a couple of Cy Youngs. I really thought he did. But I knew he didn't have one with us, but I thought for sure he had gotten one or two with the Yankees.
About 2,000 remaining.
Was I wrong about the 7 Gold Gloves, though? Somebody look that up.
There are still some tickets available if you're interested in seeing the Orioles.
I think he's got 7 Gold Gloves. That was a nice breaking ball right there. Look at that.
Available if you're interested in seeing the Orioles. Strike 3.
Grab some pine, 29.
Pretty much the typical style and repertoire that we've seen from Poole for several years. Fastball, slider, finishing them up, polishes them off with his breaking ball.
Lovely.
He will throw that pitch at any time in the count.
That actually wound up. Look where that ball winds up. That ball is outside, and look where it is right there. It's actually on the inside half of the plate. That's crazy. I mean, that ball was like over here. And then batter's like, nah, that's outside. Look where it winds up. That's crazy. Really good pitch.
Slider finishing them up, polishes them off with his breaking ball right here. Will throw that pitch at any time in the count. And you see that thing skid
good
right
stuff.
Across the plate.
1 out in the 9th, and Brian McRae, another switch hitter up.
2 more outs to get for the Orioles to lock up an opening day win here in 1994. How do you feel, folks? Don't you love the 90s? I mean, did you see that episode of Seinfeld last night? I mean, was that crazy or what? Can you believe that Costanza was able to move the Frogger video game across the street?
That was a big play.
Oh, it was hilarious.
No one that we've seen.
What else is going on in 94? Hey, have you guys think of that new Boys to Men single? Pretty good, right?
Jim Poole is an avid
Boys to Men, kicking it. Belle Biv DeVoe. Actually, that might have been a couple years earlier. Actually, 94. Shoot, Nirvana's already out now. We're peak grunge. Motown Philly back again.
Foul ball, 3-2.
Yeah, we're in the Pearl Jam era right now.
Mussina has to feel gratified by his performance this afternoon, giving up just one.
Right now, I'm running around wearing a Pearl Jam shirt, talking about how Jeremy spoke in class today.
Mostly going with the hard stuff. And Poole walks.
Hey, I never did get any response from anybody about what they were doing on this date and what was going on in their life, what they think they would have been doing.
That'll bring up Wally Joyner.
Again, I would have been in school, although I am willing to bet that I skipped school for opening day because I always did that.
And the ball was hit, was struck hard, and he expected.
I mean, it depended on when it started. If it started at 1 o'clock, I skipped. If it started at 3, I just missed like the first inning.
He's getting closer with a wallop here.
Raising babies.
Now, if he played regularly in this park, he would hit some home runs.
Oh yeah.
From sun up till sundown.
Ball into the air a lot.
Is that an all-day job, man?
He doesn't have tremendous bat speed, but he does take a nice, healthy stroke.
Here's the pitch.
Strike 1.
Well, Janet, that's why you missed your chance with Brady. Should have waited another year.
With the Royals,
I'm just kidding.
He said only 5 home runs at home and 19 on the road.
Culinary school.
1-1.
If not working or at school, you're watching the Orioles.
Well, Joyner lacks the power most clubs want in their first base.
Are you a culinary artist, Michael?
If he drove in more than 66
What is your forte? What do you like to make?
Check swing roller foul, and it's 1-2 to Joyner.
Hey, did you see that movie, The Menu, from like a year or two ago with Ray Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy?
First year, the second year, did even
fun little movie.
34 homers and 117 RBIs. But he always maintained he was.
All right, let's wrap up this opening day win, folks. Lined foul by Joyner off to the left.
The Big A, Anaheim Stadium, a better ballpark for him to hit in than Royal Stadium has been.
And the pitch.
Looked pretty good, but called the ball by the plate umpire.
That was low, Mel. What are you talking about?
And it's 2-2.
Looked pretty good. Nearly hit the dirt. I mean, I know it was moving, but
2-1 with a 2.15 earned run average. Gave up only 30 hits and 50 in the third innings.
From dishwasher to sous chef. Oh, that's fisted. That could bloop in there, and it will.
And the Royals suddenly
A
coming
duck
alive
snort
in the
for Wally
ninth.
Joyner.
First and second.
That's all it takes to continue a little
2 men
rally
on.
like this. These kinds of little rallies
Might we
feed
see
upon
Lee
themselves.
Smith in this game?
Well, now coming up is Mike McFarland, who has hammered the ball hard twice. He had a
Here
home
comes
run in the
Johnny
fourth
Oates.
and just missed in the seventh.
Does he want the big
And
man?
Johnny Oates is going to go to his bullpen for the right-hander Mills.
Oh, they're going to Alan Mills.
Here, moving along very rapidly. Mussina having absolutely
It's not
no
a safe
trouble
situation
moving
yet.
through
They're
this
going to
lineup.
Alan Mills. This
And all
Bell
of a sudden,
Atlantic
relievers
call of the
start coming in,
bullpen
and
brought
start
to you
running
by
into
Bell
difficulty
Atlantic.
In a game in which Mussina had only thrown 91 pitches.
For the Rolling Rock
Oh, you know
Orioles,
what's a
the
really
first
good movie about
Jim
cooking?
Poole leads
Oh,
Mike
God, what is it? What is the
Well,
name
the
of it?
hope is that you-
Is it Big Night? It's a Stanley Tucci movie from the 90s. I think it's called Big Night. Yeah, 96. I highly recommend this film. I highly, highly recommend, Michael, you find this movie and watch it. I think you'll love it. Stanley Tucci and Tony Shalhoub. They're brothers that run a restaurant. And it's great. Just great performances. Isabella Rossellini's in this. Minnie Driver, Ian Holm. I mean, great cast. Great everything. Had nice buzz when it came out, but most people have forgotten about this movie. But it's fantastic. Give it a try. That's my recommendation.
You put an end to this budding rally right here. And that's what manager Johnny Oates.
All right, let's go to the bullpen here. I'm getting kind of hungry. I got to go. Alan Mills is on.
Carlin's not going to have any problems getting
Oh, they're
around
playing Hold On, I'm Coming.
He specializes in fastball to hit.
Mills this spring was 2-0 with a 2.65 earned run average. He got into 7 games and made 4
There's
starts.
Lee Smith getting loose
Big
just
Lee
in
Smith,
case.
the closer.
Probably what I didn't finish for dinner last night, Janet, which is like these skinny noodles and
Mills made 4
shallots
starts this
and
spring, although Johnny
what is
Oates
it?
maintained all along that he was going to be used out of the bullpen,
It's
but I
a
really
spicy
think they were
Thai noodle
protecting
dish
themselves in the event that
with like pieces of
somebody broke
tofu
down.
in it.
Sid Fernandez got hurt, developed bursitis.
Lots of
and Arthur Rose
spices.
was struggling, so it gave them some protection in case they had to
I could only
use
eat
a
half of it last
reliever as
night.
a starter.
All right, well, Mills has developed into a solid setup man.
So here we go.
All right, here we go.
Second, one
Let's
out. The
get this
Orioles lead
final
6-1
out.
in the
Part of my
ninth, and
schooling
Mike
was in
McFarland
Providence.
faced
This is where the
Alan
main
Mills.
campus is
McFarland, who set a
located.
career high last year with 20 home runs.
Ratatouille.
Well, Mills is prone to leaving the ball up in the strike zone, so that's a pretty good commitment to a swing.
And the
from
pit. By the way, I got to watch my weight.
Fastball, but good location on the outside corner, and it's strike one.
Here's a inside info. My weight was trending downward for months during the entire baseball season. Every 5 weeks, I go to my doctor, get my medication, check in. I get on the scale, and I was shaving off a couple of pounds a month during the baseball season. And guess what? I went to the doctor, what, about 2 weeks ago now? So about, what, 5 weeks?
7th and 8th innings.
I think I went right before the Orioles playoffs started,
And now having
and
to
I was
finish-
still trending down. And then, like, yeah, I had like
finish this game without
5
Lee Smith
weeks
coming in. I tell you,
after
that's
the
a
Orioles
drive for Mills to get him going.
dropped out of the playoffs, where I guess I must have overate and
It's 1-2, and that's the book on
depressed
McFarland. Get ahead
eating
of
or
him.
whatever it is.
Get him to chase
'Cause
pitches out of the strike zone.
suddenly my weight went up a couple of kilos. And now I'm worried about it. Now I'm like, all right. And maybe you guys can understand I had more than one reason to be depressed during the month of November.
The stairs.
He said Jim Downstairs get ready to do a post-game interview. That's not a good sign.
Anyway, I hope that trend doesn't start going the wrong way.
Well, Alan was talking today about
had to make a soup of the day at places I have worked.
He had this spring. Got a lot more innings than he normally would.
A soup of the day.
A number of games.
That's one of my.
The key to him, though,
oh, it's not one of my favorite, but that is a Mitch Hedberg joke.
Fastball is so explosive, it runs all over the place.
You know, what is the deal with soup of the day? It's time to make a decision.
Slider just off the plate. It's 2-2.
Just missed the outside edge. This game nearly over. This hangout nearly over.
Good hand strength when you
just want to go ahead and say thanks to everybody for the hangout.
And not commit on a vicious slider.
When I say everyone, are we down to like 4 people? Come on back in a couple of weeks. We'll be watching the Orioles play the California Angels from a game back on June 22nd, 1989. Called strike 3 from Mills. McFarland, take a seat. One more out. I thought that was 2 out already. One more to get.
Run back too. Starts away and just comes back. So we talk about movement.
Oh yeah, folks, please hit the like button if you haven't done so already.
That baby was
please do anything you can to support the channel. I am not yet in a comfortable place. Gary Gaetti, the last hope for the Royals. And he takes a pitch outside.
At this stage of his career, pretty much a dead fastball.
Yeah, I had lost, I don't know, about 15 to 20 subscribers, so I dipped below 2,300. And I don't want to keep dipping.
At the end of his career.
It stinks when you hit a benchmark and then it goes below it.
I wouldn't put it past him.
And there's nothing you can really do about it. Although I did have one guy sign up, but then he unsubbed because I was an ass. So there's that. Hey, by the way, that guy, did you notice how for the other 3 hours of the stream, I'm just sitting here being a chill dude and we're having a fine time? And I'm not sitting here trying to... Do you notice how these confrontations are instigated by you, the chatter, not me?
Will come in to score to make it 6-2, and the Royals.
Do you guys see how it works? God, I'm so sick of these attempts at trying to gaslight me into thinking that I'm the asshole because I'm, you know, responding to people being assholes to me. Like, what do you think? Like, I'm here to, like, what? At your beck and call? I'm here to
and now the left-hand hitting Bob Hamlin coming up with
to kiss your ring. Like, what do you expect from me?
Orioles. Hamlin, who has power.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's the thing that I don't like about being on YouTube. Everything else is cool.
About the same size.
But man,
they both hit home runs.
Some people just want to bring you down.
Fastball in there, strike one.
Well, that's the one.
They're like, wait a minute, that guy over there appears to be doing something unique, interesting, and he seems to be enjoying himself. Let me put an end to that. I don't like seeing that. There's too many people with that mentality out there, folks. And the number is not getting smaller. In the meantime, 9th inning, and the pitch is low.
This is Hamlin's first at bat against Alan Mills.
Hamlin up here with 2 out in the 9th. The Royals have a run in. Baltimore still ahead by, what, 4 runs?
In the American Association with Omaha.
Next pitch. Swung on, and that ball's going to get down. What's going on here in the 9th? Bring in Lee Smith.
This one is beginning to unravel.
Bring in Lee Smith, folks.
I'm telling you now.
Call the bullpen.
Don't go to the bullpen unless it's absolutely necessary. In a game where the pitcher is just absolutely throttling the opposition.
Well, Mike Mussina had retired 14 consecutive hitters through 8 innings. Had thrown only 91 pitches.
That's right.
Brought in Jim Poole.
Where is that?
A walk and a single. Now Mills has given up 2
Close
hits,
the door.
2 runs, and the Royals are
Close the door.
It's not
yeah, is that Craig Kimbrell out there?
Close the door. Close the door.
All right. Here comes Lee Smith.
For baseball's all-time saves leader, Lee Smith.
Hall of Famer. And what do you call it? bit of a vigilante, not vigilante. What do you call it? Arm for hire. You know, this guy bounced around a lot in his last few years.
The big question, you know, how's the bullpen going to do? How's the pitching in general going to do? But specific.
I love how I'm trying to hit the forward button and it's making it scroll to the right at the same time.
Threw 11 home runs in 50+ innings last
The big
year.
man with the ball.
A lot of questions
Again, look.
right here.
Tell me he doesn't have the same physique as Felix Bautista. Look at Oates looking up at him, like he's looking at him like a little boy would look at a ball player. Like, oh my God, I'm standing in the presence.
Situation John Oates would not like to have had seen. Not to have to use his closer, but he's going to have to, and it will be in a clutch situation, which is the way he's going to be used all year long.
That's kind of what a closer does. John, I hate to call it, or is that Jim Palmer talking, or is that John Lowenstein?
Situation, which is the way he's going to be used all year long. Would not like to have had seen.
This is Jim Palmer talking.
Use his closer, but he's going to have to, and it will be in a clutch situation, which is the way he's.
Is Jim Palmer explaining to the audience that closers pitch in clutch situations and will continue to all year long? Jim, you're insulting me right now, dude.
Going to be used all year long.
Come on, buddy.
Royals mounting a rally in the ninth. They have scored twice to cut the Oriole lead to 6-3. Jim Poole struck out the first batter, then Brian McRae walked. Wally Joyner blew.
I mean, hand me a rattle if you're going to talk to me like that.
Bullpen and struck out Mike McFarland, but Gary Gaetti with two.
All right, let's go.
I mean, that's where they should be. And I hate having to go to the bull.
Jesus Christ, Lee Smith. You take longer to warm up than my old Buick Century.
Well, we're only miles if you're struggling.
Holy Toledo, are you warm?
We all heard. Oh man!
And after sitting around into the game,
Good God.
Home runs.
Here we go. Oh wow, Dave Henderson.
Series, 2 strikes, 1
couple of veterans here.
The Boston Red Sox. He was playing for the Red Sox at the time, being eliminated. He hits a 2.
I know, right, Michael?
Home run to tie up the ball game, and the Red Sox go on to win in 7 games and end up losing to the Mets in the 1986.
I gotta go warm up the car, hun. I gotta go warm up the car.
Second, 2 outs, 6-3 Orioles in the ninth. Smith to Henderson.
The pitch. That's a strike. That was borderline. That looked off the plate, but the veteran, eventual Hall of Famer, gets the call.
About 250 pounds. He's been working on a sidearm delivery to give the hitter another window to look at. Didn't have a chance to work on it very much in spring.
Now, did you hear that? Lee Smith, at this point of his career, he's the all-time saves leader. He has carved out a Hall of Fame career already. And he's still working on things. He's trying out a sidearm pitch. Did we see Craig Kimbrell attempt to do anything other than pitch the 2 pitches he had? Which is, what, the 2-seam fastball and the slurve or whatever, the knuckle curve? He was a 2-pitch pitcher. Man, if you're a 2-pitch pitcher, you better be, you know.
I doubt if he's going to go with a new
you better be good. Or you better learn to adjust if it ain't working and try something new. That should do it. Sabo goes to second for the force, and the Orioles begin the season in grand fashion. They are 1-0. A 6-3 final over the Kansas City Royals, a game which featured the debut of Rafael Palmeiro, hitting his first Orioles home run. Lee Smith making his first appearance as the closer. He gets his first save, and Mike Mussina makes his first opening day start, and he gets the win. He had offensive help from Harold Baines, Chris Hoyles, Mark McLemore, Mike Devereaux. And up until that last inning, yeah, Mike Mussina was fantastic.
It's just plain smart.
Bullpen, a little shaky. Now, okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the phone line now. Boy, that was a rousing success. Apparently, no one ever wants to talk to me ever. I'm not that. I'm not there yet.
Southwest Airlines Company Club.
I'm not that established. This would have been the time to try. All right, so coming up in 2 weeks, mark your calendars. It will be Where is it? I put the date somewhere. It's the 6th, right? The 6th of December. December 6th, folks. Come on back December 6th. I'll make a thumbnail, hit the notification, whatever, and don't miss it, okay? I did enjoy this. I like watching old Orioles games. 3.5 hours is a long time, though. So another reason to only do this once a fortnight. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for the super chat from Matt earlier. And, yeah, hope to see you guys again here in a couple of weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving. Go Ravens. And, yeah, that's about it from your boy, the BirdWatcher. Until then, folks, this has been the BirdWatcher, and I'll chirp at you later. Have a good night.